Howdy, y'all, and welcome to Liberty Libations. My name is Jake Green. The audio is going to be a little poor today, but I'm joined as always by Alden Hardee, and today's special guest is Chris Bradley.
Good evening.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Should we there we go. It's not as funny when the screen's not as wide. Alden, are you actually sipping on gin and juice?
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's all I have left in the house.
That's all
we
you
have
have
to
left.
restock.
Yeah, you just moved into your first ever home.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's that feel?
In Georgia.
What's going on? Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, it's been, thanks, man. It's been both like great and terrible, you know? It's been an adjustment. I've literally had to like split live. Like Haley lived at the apartment for a while and I had to live here for like a week or two. And we have like chickens here, so I've been keeping them alive. Just barely.
That's right. Chickens came with the house.
Yeah. So
Holy
I didn't
crap.
want them.
How many
you know.
chickens?
5.
Five
Okay, not too
chickens.
bad.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. No, but I've never had chickens, so I was just like, I'm like speed reading like how to not kill a chicken, you know, like so it's been fun. I'm tired. but it's a good tired, man. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, yeah. Chris and I are up here in Montana. We're doing the first 2-week stint building the house up here. So
Heck yeah, man.
We piped in the water to the landing today, so now we get actual fresh running water that you can drink straight out of the mountain, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's the
so
best
good.
water for real. Yeah.
It's the best. Alden's been here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Alden drove through
I
when
miss
he
it.
moved from Washington to here.
I've never tasted water that had like real taste to it.
just water taste.
That
Yeah.
it tasted like water.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That tasted like it didn't taste like water from a plastic bottle.
It didn't taste like plastic
water.
or pipe. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah, it's delicious.
1978 apartment pipe rust or whatever. It's good stuff. Good stuff. It's seasoning, you know.
just a little
Delicious.
Yeah.
little bit of something.
A little getting a top note. Yeah.
All right, well, we have a lot of great news for this week. First off, we are brought to you by Rabbit Eye Wine. This show is sponsored by Rabbit Eye Wine, based here in the state of Georgia. It's friggin' delicious. It's blueberry wine, very tasty. So it's available, I believe, in 35 states. You can order it. Otherwise, you can go pick it up at your local liquor store.
All right, what's it called again?
Rabbit Eye Wine.
Rabbit Eye Wine.
Yeah, it's freaking delicious. Right now, we're just getting paid in wine. We're not even getting paid in cash because it's our
I'm
first
getting
ever
paid
sponsor.
in IOU wine.
Hey, we all are. We're getting there. The owner of the company just had a baby, so give him some time.
Oh, did he?
Please.
Right on.
Yep.
Congrats to Will.
Just had a baby. So.
Will just gave birth to a baby, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Steven
Steven?
Hilton.
Cheers, fellas.
All right. Welcome
Is that
to
a
the
Wicked
show,
Weed
buddy.
shirt?
It is a Wicked Weed shirt. And I
Right
got
on,
it
man.
from the Wicked Weed Brewery in Asheville,
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very
right before they sold their soul.
Yeah. I was going to say what year. There you go.
Well, dude, welcome to the show. What you drinking?
Again, I can't get off of the New Realm Kick Flipper, man.
Okay.
There
Okay.
we go. New Realm Kick Flipper.
All right.
Love it.
It's,
I mean,
it's a West Coast
their
IPA.
designs.
It's good stuff.
Nice.
Georgia
All right.
local stuff out of Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
There's that can opening. That's what we missed at the beginning because
I
we're all
forgot to
sipping from,
do.
we're sipping from glasses.
I've got 2 going on, so I forgot. But mine's not a classic pop. It's this stupid twist up. I don't know why
That
they do
was-
this. Like
That was really annoying to listen
it takes
to. Don't
like
do-
30. I know. Is
don't
anyone
do that
gonna
again.
like reseal it? Like, why do we do this? I don't know.
which, hopefully next week, at least the week after, I'll have a Liberty Libations glass.
Yes.
Oh, I just saw
which,
that, yeah.
which brings us to our second point. Y'all,
There we go.
Our store is live. Right now you can go pick up a Threat to Democracy hat. You can get a Liberty Libations pint glass. You can get Drink Beer, Spread Misinformation shirt. Or if you're a whiskey drinker, you can get a Drink Whiskey, Spread Misinformation t-shirt. You can get a Libations plus Rabbit Eye wine glass. You can get I don't have to sweat. The government makes me sweat. Or no, I don't have to work out. The government makes me sweat.
There you go. Yeah.
Hoodie and sweatpants. Then there's some Divide and Dominate merch, which I trust nothing but coffee. The government will keep me warm, throw blanket. Yeah, we've got 12 items so far with lots more to come. And Nick is now on the show. Nick, welcome back, buddy. I think his audio is still coming in. All right. Let's see. Grumpy Gnome says I bought a bottle. Apparently, there's a law you have to drink it from a mason jar. I'm okay with the law that says you have to drink rabbit eye wine from a mason jar.
There's nothing. I see no problems.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Nick, what you drinking, buddy? Is he there? Man, he's having technical issues tonight.
Yeah.
All right. We'll move on.
He's not drinking some audio. I can tell you that.
Well, y'all, make sure to drop a like on this stream. Share it with your friends. Go buy some merch. The merch store is only going to expand. I've got a lot of ideas for different things. So go get your merch. Go get your pint glass. I think at some point we will all have pint glasses, so we'll all have the ability to drink from a Liberty Libations glass, which will be great. All right, y'all. Really big week with a lot of news, a lot of things happening. So let's get to it. Zach, let's pull up that. Okay, well, yeah, just maximize that and let's play this video.
I'm going to bring in NBC once again for correspondent Josh Letterman standing by for us. Josh, bring us up to date. What more we're learning?
Well, Yasmin, we're learning a little bit more from the Israeli military about what has taken place in the last few minutes. The IDF now says that multiple drones were launched from Iranian territory toward Israel. Now, as Aaron David Miller was correctly saying, and the IDF is now echoing, it's going to take several hours for those drones to actually arrive in the vicinity of Israel. But in the meantime, the Israeli military and its Air Force are now undertaking what they are calling a defensive operation. They are implementing what they are calling an orderly plan to deal with this, including both Air Force fighter jets as well as Navy assets that are now being deployed to defend Israeli territory. What does that mean? It means shooting down those drones, of course. And part of what Israel is also trying to do is make it harder for those drones to successfully reach their destination. And so the Israeli military announcing that GPS may be disabled in certain areas because, of course, they may suspect that those Iranian drones may utilize GPS targeting to be able to get to the places that they are intended to go.
All right, y'all. So Iran launched their first ever actual strike against Israel. Isn't that correct? I believe that's correct.
It's probably the first time they've been the aggressor in anything since the Ottoman Empire.
Yeah. So first
without using their proxy army, Hamas.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you saw that map, like the amount of territory they have to cover in order just to reach Israel, it's like, what do y'all like? First of all,
let's hope
why?
Tesla didn't build the drones because they're gonna have to recharge 3 times before they get there.
What, like? Can you imagine having a beef? Like I can have a beef with my next door neighbor, but I could never imagine having a beef with a person 2 houses down and launching rocks over my neighbor's house to hit their house.
Well, I can imagine it now.
Well, okay, I can
Sounds
imagine
like a good
it, but I don't.
It's suburban warfare.
My real question, I guess, is like, what does Iran hope to gain from this? Like, what could be their play here? Why are they like? What's the point of becoming the aggressor?
I don't even know what's going on.
Well, I could say right off the bat, my gut instinct on it would be that they're trying to be a good guy to finally put a foot down on something. When everyone's like, "Hey, Israel, knock it off," and they're not knocking it off, they finally go, "All right, fine, we'll do it."
And they are getting blamed for many, many things that are happening because of Hamas. So,
well,
Nick, you got an idea?
You look at it. It's like when Trump killed Soleimani, right? What they do, they hit an occupied corner of an airbase, of a U.S. airbase, right? Like, oh, here we did something, and we're gonna leave it at that as long as you do. And this has the same feel to me as that. I mean,
Yeah, I think it was.
did bomb their embassy, so yeah, retaliation is kind of expected when you do that. Not that it's a good thing, but hey, here's these drones. It's going to take 8 hours for them to get there, and you've got multi-million-dollar missiles ready to blow them out of the sky, right? I don't think there were any reported casualties on the ground in Israel. Were there?
So it's pretty much like an empty threat.
So
I mean, I think 99% of them were shot down.
This feels very much like that Soleimani retaliation, where it's like, oh, we've done it. Hey, we did something, so now we're serious, and don't do it again. That's at least how it feels to me.
That's plausible, honestly. They've definitely done that before, so that's not the worst theory. It's just the more countries that start bombing other countries, the scarier this whole situation is becoming. And
absolutely.
Yeah, and Iran taking this kind of stance, and it wasn't just a few missiles; it was a lot of missiles that came in. They were all taken out. Like 99% were protected.
Was it missiles or drones?
Well, there were drones, but then there was also over 300 missiles that were sent.
There was both.
There were the drones. There were some cruise missiles, and there were some ballistic missiles.
Yeah,
and almost nothing.
It was all three
got through.
I mean, the Iron Dome paid for by your tax dollars kind of takes care of that.
Yeah, there we go.
But that's the other part of it, right? So it's not free to fire those. Those missiles in the Iron Dome are what, like $2 million a pop. So
they're so
maybe
expensive.
Not that much, but they are not cheap. And I mean, I think that's another tactic, say like Hamas uses there. They launch $800 homemade rockets over, and what, $1 million a pop to take each one out. I mean, that hits hard.
That was kind of the whole thing initially with before 9/11, wasn't it? Was that they're like, we're just going to make this the most expensive war you've ever had.
Yeah, they were trying to bleed us dry. They knew how to do that. And we never actually really defeated anyone over there.
No one wins.
No one wins these wars.
They won their goal, which was to make us spend a lot of money.
Yeah. Afghanistan was 20 years so the Taliban could have it again.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Do you know the mission accomplished whole thing on the aircraft carrier? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was the most embarrassing thing.
No more terror. Yeah.
Chris showed me a funny video this morning. A guy talking about how he doesn't want to live in unprecedented times anymore. Just give me precedented times. Let's just have something not catastrophic happen for 1 week.
Something precedented and predictable, please, for the love of God. I didn't want to interrupt your the general spiel, also because I needed to hear, because I didn't know anything about what was going on, but I couldn't help but put together when you were talking about how far away these were, like the words "I ran so far away." But
dude, I've sang that song so many times. For the past hour.
Oh. So I'm not the first one to put this together.
No, I've been singing it constantly.
Oh my God,
I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about Arrested Development. Solid as a rock.
So good.
Nick, you still have your desk whiskey you're drinking, or are you not drinking tonight?
I have it, but I'm not drinking tonight because I've still got packing to do and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Drinking helps pack for sure.
I'm finally making the move over this weekend, so I've got to.
There we go.
Good luck, man.
Look, there's no couch
two home
behind me
buyers,
anymore.
man.
So.
I see that. Yeah, two home buyers.
I just had,
within the same month.
Yeah, the place is painted. New carpet in the bedrooms got installed today, and internet's on finally. So
there we go. That's really all you need. Just carpet and internet. You don't need anything else.
Well, it's a start, right? So I bought I bought one of those TV antennas, so I don't have to pay for local channels.
There we go. That is crucial. It's so funny with like all the streaming services and stuff. Like even if you get something like YouTube TV, sometimes the local stuff's blocked out or blacked out. It's weird.
Yeah.
So you
I
still
found
have to
kind
get
of
that
a-
digital stuff.
Yeah,
found
so
a
I
loophole.
got I bought a nice because I was using like a indoor antenna before. It was terrible, so I bought a bigger one that I could go mounting up in the attic.
There we go.
And then and then
Well,
internet, TVs. I have couches on the way, so new couches to fit that room, so to fit the living room. So I'm fairly well set to finally get over there.
nice.
He's back.
Nice. He's
Can you hear
back.
me now?
Yeah, you're dead frozen, man. You're just looking
There
down to your right. It was wild.
Yeah. So did you guys bring up too? So yeah, we killed Soleimani under Trump, but Obama's last year we gave them $2 billion in cash, and we gave them the most advanced drone we had at the time.
To
Remember that?
Israel or to Iran?
Iran.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was not aware of the whole drone thing. I know the cash, but that was seized assets that was sitting in our bank accounts.
Right. So that was really
Everything the
theirs
government
anyways.
gets is seized assets, Nick. Which we're going to
Well,
do next.
yeah, but that's the money
Well
they
said.
had there, sitting there since the overthrow of the Shah, and it was no, you're not getting this back. And then
you
when
would
they
never
cut
get
the-
this.
when they cut the deal. Part of it was all right. You can have your stuff back.
Right.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's just
I don't know,
worth
Steven,
noting
what are your thoughts on the whole thing? Yeah.
Well, I mean, with the drones, obviously they're not leading with their most advanced tech. You know, they're kind of testing the waters. They're again probably trying to see how much money we have in the Iron Dome, trying to see what the supply is, how much they can handle at once. Is it possible to overload the Iron Dome? Because Turkish Parliament it was today or yesterday. They were all shouting "Death to Israel," and then Erdogan is just he's all about it.
Gosh. Freaking.
Right.
Well, of course he is. It's friggin' Erdogan.
Right. So
Yeah.
it sounds like they're all about to unify under this. At the very least, it'll pinch us because we're already in so many trade wars with China directly, with the BRICS nations. We're devaluing our own currency. We're being torn apart from within. The borders are wide open. Our social
NATO
programs are
ally.
being advertised in other countries. They're being handed flyers saying "Vote for Biden" on the way up here. Another Biden term is the only way we keep the borders open. And this is an NGO that's linked to Secretary Mayorkas that runs DHS. It was like RCS or something like that. It's I don't know. some Spanish
We're
terms.
gonna get to that. That's later on. Don't get ahead.
Well,
of
I'm just
yourself.
trying to paint the whole picture here of what's going on. Is according to Sun Tzu, we can't win this. We've got to really turn inward and fix our internal issues and focus on those, or this is the fall of the republic. Because we cannot
it's not only that. Well, we're getting ravaged from the inside, but we're also fighting wars on multiple fronts.
Yeah,
and you're not going to win that. I mean, Germany's a perfect example of that. That's just not going to happen. So if you're combining multiple pitfalls of trying to lead an empire, that does not bode well for the outcome. That's
When you spread yourself too thin, you will fall apart.
yeah, absolutely. I had
we
something
know
to
the
ask
Iron
you.
Dome can handle 300, 400, 500 simultaneous targets, but because I know it's mainly laser targeting as well. So let's see what kind of weather weapons they roll out. Can we?
Did you see what happened in Saudi Arabia, or not Saudi Arabia, UAE?
UAE,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
They
about.
promised it was not cloud seeding.
Yeah,
It was.
but
They came out and admitted it. They already came out and admitted it. They said
Well, yeah, so the
they've been
article that I
cloud
read-
seeding. We'll get to it. Sorry, Stephen, go ahead.
the article that I was reading on that said that I forget the acronym for it, but it was like the department in charge of cloud seeding said they did not do cloud seeding.
But if we're talking on that, Tennessee passed a law banning cloud seeding,
Great.
Yeah,
banning
It
things like that.
doesn't
And
matter
then
if
'cause
everything
I- 'cause
around
I
it
caught an-
doesn't.
I caught an article that was like, and all these debunked conspiracy theories, and I'm like, they openly admit cloud seeding's a thing.
Yeah.
You
Cloud
can
seeding's
watch
been a thing
them
for a
do
long
it. We
time.
covered this last week.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
this
in
is
San
not.
Francisco.
This is not that crazy.
Also, we also kind of covered this last week where like Tennessee might ban it, but if there's winds from the north and Kentucky does it, then like it
then
doesn't
you're
matter.
screwed.
You can't stop the clouds from coming over your state. Like,
So yeah, at the Dubai airport, okay, they had to stop all flight traffic because the flood that they caused was so big that it was over the wheels of the airplanes.
God,
That's how much rain that they cloud seeded into
that's
existence.
crazy.
Hey, but the next
I saw
paragraph,
videos of guys
the
pushing their
Noah
cars
guy
down the street.
promises. The next paragraph, the guy from Noah promises it's not cloud seeding.
Well, I love how the cloud seeding department said it wasn't cloud seeding.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so
Even
stupid.
though, because then there's another article that I read, because that flooding happened like on a Wednesday. They
Mhm.
admitted that they ran cloud seeding operations Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah. Yes. Did anybody see the video of the camel getting washed away?
What?
No.
It was out in the desert. It was out in the desert, and all these camels with their like handlers are digging themselves into the sand trying to hold on, and one camel just gets wiped out and taken. Like it's a current of water. It was
Can camels
crazy.
swim?
It's a good
Like,
question.
how often do they need to do that? Like,
I mean, horses can swim. Like deer,
Horses,
even deer can
can
swim.
swim.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
I
but
would
camels are like built for sand. It's like a different. I don't know.
You think horses are built for water, Alden?
Yeah.
Well, there is water
think
polo.
seahorses.
Shut
I'll
your
walk
mouth,
up to one.
Stephen.
It's equestrian, not aquestrian. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
One wrong letter in there.
It's
Yeah.
just a regional dialect.
So we'll see.
Back
As
to
this
the
keeps
war. Yeah.
as this keeps ramping up, as let's say Hamas or Palestine, whatever,
Right.
as they continue to pick up allies in this fight that feel like they need to line up and throw rocks, we're going to start seeing this is what's going to trigger the world war. Not this kind of stuff back and forth. We've had this my entire life. But what's going to ramp it up is when you start seeing the rollout of the third, fourth, fifth generation military tech. Right now, the Iron Dome was in place, in the early 90s. I mean, some of these things, it was, shoot them or decommission them. I mean, these things are growing cobwebs right now. Same thing with some of the crap they're hurling at us. It's probably got an American flag on the top of it.
Yeah.
It's probably deterrence we sold to them for Saddam Hussein. They're just burning that stuff anyways. So, but if we see all of a sudden some kind of serious flood happen, or you'll see stuff that's just out of the ordinary. You're like, oh my God, there's an earthquake on the Gaza Strip.
Right.
Some
Yeah. I mean, so the real question is if it actually goes to like a hot war where these countries are actually fighting each other. One, it's going to be mainly an aerial war at the beginning because there's a whole country in between these two countries. I mean, Syria is just right there in the middle. I mean, Syria's been ravaged by war for decades. I did a whole documentary on Syrian refugees. Like it's already seen enough problems, and now to have two warring nations on either side of it,
Not
it's
a
just gonna
crossfire you want to be in there. Yeah.
Correct. Which I really feel for that, for the people in that country at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know what Israel's retaliation is going to be, if they're going to retaliate. They're not really known to turn the other cheek or forgive. So I doubt that's what's going to happen. But I don't know. Anybody got any more thoughts on where this might go or what might happen next?
You'll see some internet outages. You'll see some some digital warfare. Because it's bad optics on both sides. Watching buildings blow up and kids fly out of windows. It's just messy. And if you really want to dominate somewhere and take over afterward, you need the infrastructure. You need the morale of the people that live around there. That it still looks like the town they grew up in when you take over.
But if you just want to destroy it and wipe them off the face of the planet, then that doesn't really matter.
Well,
was gonna say,
if that's the goal, which now we know, Iran, Palestine, whatever, wherever that is, and and Turkey. I mean, those are their chance. Wipe them off the map.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you guys drinking scotch, Jake and Chris?
Close.
Not quite.
Oh, okay. The color
Yeah.
of it looked in the light.
It's a
looked kinda
different-
like Scotch, but
It's a
Same
different
thing.
whiskey, man.
Whiskey.
It's better. It's way better than Jameson. It's
Yeah.
way better than Tullamore.
Oh yeah.
Jameson
better
is
than-
one of the most like overhyped and overbranded whiskeys. There's so many better. Dude, Tullamore Dew is better than Jameson.
Tullamore's
Just
better.
saying,
Yeah.
like
For sure.
What's Conor McGregor's Irish whiskey? 'Cause
Proper
it's better
12.
than that too. Proper 12. It's better than that one too.
Yeah, I've not
highly,
had that.
highly recommend. The Irishman. It's freaking delicious.
I'll
Stuff
try
with
that for
flashing
sure.
marketing campaigns is never lives up to what it is. You need that
No,
quiet,
no.
Yeah.
that quiet thing.
Well, the Jameson's good for
Nice.
car bombs.
I
Well,
agree
that's
with that. I'll
Great
do.
for car
yeah.
bombs.
Yeah,
There comes the YouTube strike.
pickleback.
I'm also a really big fan of Jameson as my shop drink.
Oh yeah, shop drink. That's a good
Because
one.
if
It's
I
a
spill
good
it
daily
little bit,
drink.
I'm not like, oh no. It's like I spill it, just go.
I'll drink it. Yeah, yeah.
Grumpy
great for
says, "Calm
Molotov
down on the
cocktails."
Jameson bashing."
I like the of the affordable Jamesons. I like the Caskmates. The stout one is actually pretty good.
That's the best one.
Castmates is great.
That's the best one.
The Caskmates IPA is a little weird. The stout one's pretty tasty though, honestly.
We've had the stout one.
Yeah, stout
Yeah.
one's delicious.
The just
Uh.
around a campfire, just bring that bottle. And it's a good time. Like
Hannah wants to know if this is the same thing as chemtrails, the cloud seeding. It is not
No.
the same thing as
Yes and no.
chemtrails. No, I would say 100% no.
While it's a similar
It's a-
process,
Yeah, I would say it's a similar process.
it's a very different thing.
Yeah.
Same budget line item for the government, though.
Like 3D printing and CNC writing, same process,
There we go.
different thing. One's cutting, the other's gluing.
Who can name this? Who can name the show that this quote comes from?
oh, I don't even know. Yeah,
Do you guys think doing alcohol is cool?
what is that from? I just thought it was hilarious.
The response is no, I don't. I just have a glass of red wine once a week for the antioxidants. Come on, y'all. It's The Office. It's Michael Scott grilling
Oh.
people on weed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You think doing
It's been
alcohol
forever
is
since I've watched
cool?
The Office.
That show is classic, timeless. All right, y'all. I'm really just sick and tired of talking about Israel. Unless World War III starts within the next week, I'm going to promise you we're not going to cover an Israel topic next week because I'm tired.
World War
Unless-
III started.
Unless
3
the
years
cancer
ago.
vaccine actually works.
No,
what?
even then, I'm not going to do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I'm
Never
not.
mind
They can't prove
It
it that
won't work.
quickly.
Is this a real thing? A cancer?
Yes, it is.
vaccine?
Yeah, and Israel's working on it.
And they're closer to green lighting cold fusion, I think, than they are to green lighting the cancer research.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, but
I will
All right.
not be the
What
first
if-
to take that.
what if Israel does the whole the red heifer thing in the next week, which I think rumor is going to happen. I
Well,
heard
I guess
the
we'll
19th
see.
or something.
I'm
Because
just
tomorrow's Friday. Is that Friday of Passover?
That's
It's
right.
I think it's the Friday of Happening.
Passover,
Who-
like
who cares
drones
about
passing
Passover?
over?
Yeah,
Well,
there we
because
go.
that's what they were talking about. The red heifers, which supposedly are in Israel. I don't know. So
I think you're just referencing a South Park episode. That's all I know.
well, that was a thing, but
What-
Yeah,
Real
it's-
life is like a
It's
South
end
Park
times
episode
prophecy.
yes,
Yeah,
I'm
at this
aware
point,
of the
like-
prophecy. I'm aware of the
Yeah.
prophecy. But no,
At
I'm not
this
going to
point,
cover
yeah,
Israel
like-
next week.
South Park is kind of basically a reflection on the real world at this point. So I think Jake froze.
Maybe
Oh,
so.
yeah, he said that would probably happen. So,
Okay, well he's
Oh, yeah.
not here.
hey, Zach.
Well,
I
he's
was just
not
gonna say
here.
someone jump in with a rant. Go ahead, Nick.
I was gonna say let's just say terrible things about him while he's not here.
No, I'm
Oh,
back.
he's back.
You idiots.
Oh, there we go.
We missed our chance.
All right, so just so everybody knows, we're on Starlink out here, and their dish isn't positioned perfectly. So about every 20 to 30 minutes, we'll get a 10-second.
Is that
So
Yeah.
a Tesla product?
it's an
Starlink?
Elon
What is
Musk
that?
product. It's not
Or
Tesla,
that's what I
but
meant,
it's
yeah.
it's Elon
SpaceX
Musk.
product.
It's a completely different company.
It's a SpaceX product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant Musk. My bad. But
But it does have interruptions due to climate change.
Another thing that only works in 20-minute intervals.
Yeah. So make sure all your clothing is made out of recycled plastic bottles. Or
Right.
you hate the world.
Right.
Hey,
I actually just talked to him about how to do that earlier.
just everybody's fed.
I just saw a video on this dude who was taking all this plastic and turning it into this webbing and making cotton fibers and knit sweaters.
Yeah, it's
They
called
can-
nylon. We already have
They
it.
can make durable roads out of it as well. But the only thing is, if you make an actual road, if you pave a roadway with this recycled ground up plastic bottles,
Right.
it can't be north of, I think it was like 31 degrees latitude, which is basically just Florida and South Texas.
Okay.
Because if it ever freezes,
It'll melt.
Oh.
well, if it ever freezes, not worried about melting, but if it ever freezes, it's done. It cracks.
It'll crack. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, that's
I would've
genius.
thought
That's a
it
great road.
more of a problem with melting because it's plastic.
So
That'd
it
be
can't
great,
be
buddy.
above a certain and below a certain longitude. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be
Useless.
like right on the strip across the continent. It is one road.
I'd have to wonder with all the talk of microplastics ending up and everything, how that would contribute though.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah,
makes
that's a
sense.
good
Like
point.
why I only
Although
see
I'm
beach
not
boardwalks out of it in like Florida.
I'm not convinced microplastics are a thing. So
I'm not unconvinced.
You're not convinced.
Someone needs to show me microplastics under a microscope, and then I might believe. And then show me why it's destroying the inside of my body.
you're right.
It's like I know there's lead everywhere from leaded gasoline from back in the day, but
People were talking about that the other day, and they were saying that's why there were so many serial killers in the 70s and 80s was because there was so much leaded gasoline in the 40s and 50s.
ooh, that's a cool theory.
I mean, they break it into fights
I like
at the gas
that.
station.
Yeah,
I like that theory.
that's an interesting theory. Y'all,
Well, and-
let's move
and
on
now
to the next topic.
The Stanley tumblers. There's lead in the Stanley
Yes.
tumblers.
yes.
So
Okay, we're going to move on to the next topic, which is libertarians' favorite topic. Tax day, giving your money to murderers. So it was tax day this past week. How many of you filed your taxes?
Got 'em.
Corporate taxes. I filed my corporate taxes. Filed an extension on my personal. Yeah. All right. There's been a lot of outcry here or in Atlanta due to the IRS saying, here, let's just pull up the video. Let's pull it up, Zach. So people in Atlanta received a letter from the IRS stating that they had to verify their identity in person to receive their refund. This is what the line outside of Atlanta's IRS center, or this was the line yesterday. It's everybody's lining up just to get their own dadgum money from the IRS, making them come in to get their dadgum money.
Their money back that they already paid.
Yes.
Correct.
But they're
Look at
but they're-
that.
But they're getting their money the same day, not like 7 weeks later in the mail that may or may not have to go through the Palmetto distribution facility.
Dude, why are you doing it that way? Why do you not just do direct deposit?
Seriously.
Well, I do that, but
mine get deposited.
Then what are you talking about, Stephen?
well, I'm saying some folks, like real libertarians, don't trust banks, right?
Okay.
So-
I guess, yeah, none of us are real libertarians.
You need the bank account to get your Bitcoin. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least that's the easiest
But-
way to get your Bitcoin.
You have to skip through the centralization to get to decentralization.
You got to use the centralization at the moment to get to the decentralization.
It's
It's
status jujitsu. We're redirecting the energy of the centralization.
Well, and here's something interesting too. I mean, while we're talking about them putting extra roadblocks up to giving you back your money that they shouldn't have taken in the first place, I found out that there's a whole separate bureau, and I'm looking around trying to see if I still have one of the certificates from it. It's like the Bureau of Financial Services. They saw that I owed the state taxes last year. They didn't see that I paid those taxes within a couple of months, but they saw that I owed the state taxes last year. They withheld that amount from my federal tax return this year.
wow.
Yeah. And so I had to call the Georgia Department of Revenue, and I said, hey, the feds are withholding state taxes from me. Is that even allowed? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, I've read both of the documents. It's not in there. Federal and state constitution. Like, it doesn't say like the feds are going to levy state taxes. The states levy state taxes, right? So why are the feds withholding my state taxes that I already paid from my federal tax return? And they're like, they do that. They're behind. We'll forward it along to you. Oddly enough, and I feel sick saying this, but the Georgia Department of Revenue is really efficient and very like customer friendly.
Blink twice if they're holding you hostage right now.
Yeah. Blink twice if you're in distress. Yeah.
Less than 2 weeks later, I get that check back. But get this, there was a processing fee. So they still owe me $27 because it was a check for almost $1,300. They withheld like $27 from that, and so now I got to call the federal IRS and be like, okay, so starting April 15th, I'm hitting you for 5% APR that compounds monthly on the original principal balance until you pay me my $27 plus interest.
Good for you, man.
Because that's what you do to me. Why is that not reciprocated? Otherwise I can go to the IRS building. I'm taking all the coffee and donuts you got on the back table.
I know they're there.
I like that strategy way more. That sounds way more fun.
Start with that tactic.
Yeah.
Well, for anybody who's out there who's not a libertarian, what? Yeah. Well, let me just. I want to address the broader topic of taxes, and like there are going to be people who watch this show who aren't libertarians. I mean, no one likes paying taxes, but there are so many people who they can't wrap their brains around the idea of not paying any taxes. So,
Jake, who would pay for my roads?
Mark Cuban enjoys paying taxes.
Mark Cuban is an idiot at this point in time. Dude said he would vote for Biden no matter what. Like, he's an idiot.
Even if he was dead? Because that's pretty close.
Okay.
I'm
going to go off on a rant. I'm going to go off on a tangent. Okay. He said that he would vote for Biden because Trump has been indicted so many times over the last few years. He has a horrible track record with people within his administration. And Biden, this is his reasoning for being able to vote for Biden, is that no one within the Biden administration has ever left Joe Biden or talked bad about Joe Biden or betrayed Joe Biden in any way, shape, or form, which
except for that dog
is so counterintuitive if you actually think about what Biden and people in government have been doing for the last 200 years in the United States. Like, they backstab, they bribe, they take your money, they pass laws that are unconstitutional. They all work together in order to steal from you. And it's insane that a billionaire would be like, yeah, no matter what, I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. That's fucking retarded.
Right, but this was also Mark Cuban who if you guys remember that on Twitter, it was a couple weeks ago, 2 months or so, where he came out and he's like, I hire the best person for the job. And sometimes that includes, maybe certain racial character, stuff like that. Yeah. And, but I hire the best person for the job. And someone's like, hey, I work for whatever agency enforces that. And you're actually not allowed to consider that at all. Like, he admitted to breaking fair labor standards or whatever.
Yeah.
Saying, well, yeah, I don't hire off of that, but I do consider it if in the whole package. And then they're like,
he's gone off the deep end, man. He's lost it.
He's had too much time since he sold the Mavs.
Hannah quotes him and says, the most patriotic thing you can do besides military service is pay your taxes. Unbelievable.
Yeah, we tarred and feathered tax collect. Well, one, we fought a revolution over a 3% tax, and then at least where I'm at in the country, new government came in and tried to tax that corn, tax that whiskey, and some tax collectors became birds.
That's right. That's exactly right. And Mark Cuban is just living up to his last name with that kind of statement right there.
There you go. There you go.
So, just keep going to government school, drink your fluoride, ask no questions.
Yeah. He didn't sell the Mavs entirely. He's just a minority owner now.
Still.
Yeah.
When he was,
Well, and he's got what product testing company, labdoor.com, which
it's that one that sells pharmaceuticals for crazy cheap, right?
Or is it
I don't know if they sell
or something?
pharmaceuticals, but they test them for purity, and then they'll rank them, so you can actually bargain shop that way, figure out which one will give you the most bang for your buck. And I remember it was like 2018, 2019, they were ragging on Alex Jones. They were like, we tested his B12 and it was garbage. These are the best B12 supplements on the market right now. And the top of the list was the one by Global Healing Center, which Alex Jones just private labeled.
So they had no idea what they were talking about. They were just trying to screw Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Yep,
so
that
much
makes
for the
sense.
objective science there. That's
ended
peer
up
reviewed gets you.
Yeah.
No. Yep. I don't know. There's so many places we could take this with taxes. Who wants to start? Let's just look at the next. Let's look at the next link. Zach, let's bring it up, buddy. Tax day. Illegal immigration costs American taxpayers over $150 billion. Stay back up at the top. I want to read that real quick, Zach. Sorry. As tax day passes on Monday, the cost of illegal immigration to American taxpayers has hit an unprecedented level on President Joe Biden's watch. Okay, whatever. The latest estimates published, yada, yada, yada. The Fair Report. At the federal, state, and local levels, taxpayers shell out approximately $182 billion to cover the costs incurred from the presence of more than 15.5 million illegal aliens, about 5.4 million citizen children of illegal aliens. There you go. 8,776 per illegal alien.
That's why I push back on the official numbers of the population too, because I remember when I was back in high school, I graduated in 2003. So I remember like 2003, they were talking about there was 310 million people in the country. And so here we are over 20 years later, they're like, oh, there's 330 million. And I'm like, well, what about that 15 over there? Or really 20, right? Because it was the 5 million kids. So
there's going to be that those numbers are way low. Those numbers are way low. There's way more. What, Nick? What?
You threw me off with the bit I was about to do. I was going to say, but the open borders libertarians tell me that that illegal immigrants actually pay more, contribute more than they take.
Oh yeah, totally. Like Lake and Riley's murder getting out because it's overcrowded jails.
Yeah, there you go. Or DHS handing out like size 58 underwear. Yeah, you're going to contribute a whole lot to the grease fire at the cremation place.
I'm trying to remember who was it today that I was seeing. They were claiming that
took me a second. Took me a second.
That I forget where it was, but I forget what city it was. I can't remember, but it was like an article mentioning that I guess refugees, which is just how you get in here, is claiming refugee, and then you sit here it takes a year in order to get permission to work here, and they were unhappy that they only got a year of housing paid for.
Oh wow!
And they were demanding more.
Well, I've talked to people in the last 5 years that moved to Georgia, or more specifically Trilith, the former Pinewood Studios over here in Fayetteville. They moved here from California, and they're upset. They're like, I only make $150,000 a year. You don't have any utility subsidies in the state of Georgia. Really, dude? Like you're living in an $800,000 house out here on 2 acres, and you need me to help you pay your power bill?
Right.
There's plenty of room to downsize. Just go look around the county, man. Nobody's been at that level ever, really.
That makes no sense to me.
And
it's wild.
Taking a while to get the visa, there's a good way to speed that up too. How about we have them help us hunt sexual predators within their midst or already here, and if they find some and we get a conviction, you get your citizenship. We can call it aliens versus predators.
This is literally the best thing that came out of our chat this week. Was this proposal? I am fully on board with
This is Peaceful C's
illegal-
first reality competition show.
Yes. Yeah. I am fully on board with a
Snitches
with a
get green cards type of
scenario
setup,
where where illegal immigrants become bounty hunters and chase down all the sexual predators within the United States to earn their citizenship. I'm on board with this. This is a perfect plan.
It's brilliant.
It makes America better, and it doesn't cost us anything.
Yeah.
And then if the who was it? Ana Lucia, who's the Anna Paulina Luna. If her bill goes through, then all those child predators will get murdered, will get killed, because she's seeking for the death penalty for child sex abuse.
Oh,
So,
really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Wow. That's better than Greece did years ago. They just gave you a handicap sticker and let you park closer to the playground.
Goodness gracious.
Oh.
Okay.
The concept of like whoever made that, you threw up that argument where people are like, oh, they give back more than they take or whatever. That
Yeah.
depends on the government, like, because there is a function that's there with like the cheaper labor and things like that, and like the economy can benefit from workers that are not owed the same wages and things like that or whatever. Whether it's right or wrong or whatever, it's an economic boon there, to somebody.
Yeah.
But when you get that, and then also you're paying for, hospitals, or you're paying for, housing, or you're paying for whatever, like, it's the government level subsidy craziness that's out of hand. That starts to just then overshadow any of the economic advantages that you would have had. And then that's also at a certain ratio. There's that like point, where it starts to be, too fast of an influx for it to hold that, margin and be beneficial. But so it's not like I'm not fully just, on, the side of like, let it, happen or whatever. I'm just saying, if it were a different style of government, say it was a more libertarian government, then I think it might actually have more advantages.
Well, if we were at the point where it was a libertarian government, there were no social programs, we were not giving money out to people for free, then I can get on board. I'm more likely to get on board with an open borders policy.
But what we have is a worst of both worlds situation right now.
Exactly.
Where you have too much of the social programs and letting everyone in. I feel like if you have the social programs, you got to let in less people. Yes. But if you don't have the social programs, then more can come through. Like, I don't know. That's how I see it.
Let's also address the specter in the shadows as well, as we're coming up on a demographic cliff. More boomers are retiring than we have younger generations entering the workforce to prop them up. Are you talking about Social Security?
Yeah, I was wondering.
Yes, Social Security in general, but not just Social Security. I mean, we're talking about keeping the hospitals in business. We're talking about keeping products moving. The supply chain, commerce. The big spenders are retiring and dying off, and there's not that level of spending is not coming up under them, even though the younger generations are bigger. So they're not consuming as much. They're not paying as much into the tax base. They're not buying property, which really who can right now, other than Mark Cuban. So it's what Japan went through in the early 90s, is that they had this aging population, and then there was this big gap that the younger folks up under them, weren't propping up the economy as well as the retirees were before they retired. And now, of course, what Japan was doing was they were totally restrictive on their immigration. I mean, I think they were letting in like a couple dozen people a year.
A few people. Yeah.
Yes. They weren't playing that game at all. So, I mean, we're doing some things a little, more nuanced than they were. So we're not repeating all of those mistakes. But Germany, I mean, they were just going through the same thing quite recently, not just after World War II. But again, mid late 90s, they had this demographic cliff where they didn't have the workforce. Like it was, as people retired, the workforce just shrunk, and so the economy just takes a crap as a result.
Russia had this too, and did you see that they made like national like make a baby day? Basically, it was like a national holiday to promote this because they were like, we're in trouble. Like,
yeah, well, and that's why Vladimir
That's pretty
Putin was like, "Hey, you want to start a family? You want to have a kid? Sweet. You get a. I think it's like a cash upfront tax credit to have a kid over there right now.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like
I'm fine with that. Let's do that here,
and they cut you a check for having a kid right off the rip. Like, please have a kid.
it's like the opposite of
Part of
China.
that.
Yeah, right. So there's ways to do these things, but the other way is to bring in, unskilled labor to prop up the lower portions of the economy as people are retiring. I'm not saying what we're doing is right, but I'm just saying like that's, if you have these do-good planners, like your city planners downtown, akin to that, just imagine you're trying to plan demographic shifts across the entire planet. That's how you would do that. But now, then you could get the control freaks that could chase the coattails of that plan of like, hey, these people are highly suggestible, and all I got to do is give them a little freebie here and there, and I've got a voter for life.
I think we should all move to Hungary and have a lot of babies. Hannah says in Hungary, after baby number 4, you don't have to pay taxes at all anymore.
What if baby 4 dies?
Well, let's not get morbid with this, Alden.
Well, no, I mean like. Before I move there, I want to know.
Why would you think I would know that, Alden? You're just.
What if Hannah knows
ruin that? Hannah doesn't know.
And how long does it have to be alive? Like, can stillborn count, or like? Does
Oh
it need
my
to be like,
God!
Like SIDS,
do we have the 6-week rule on that one?
Yeah. The 5-second rule.
Goodness gracious!
It's got to scream once, like.
Well, look, taxes. Like, here's my biggest issue with the whole tax situation is that the amount of debt that the United States has incurred, which is over $31 trillion at this point, the amount of money that we pay in taxes doesn't cover the interest on our debt. So
I believe it does right now, but we're extremely close to not being that.
I'm pretty sure it just flipped. I could be wrong, but it is. Either way,
it's that close, that's problematic anyway.
Look, either way, it doesn't matter if it's there just yet or not. It's extremely close to it. And so whether or not they're not using your taxes for anything else, they're not paying down the debt, and they're not using your taxes to pay for things that we need or that benefit us. They're printing money, which is the hidden tax, the secondary tax that will screw you out of the value of your labor. And so they don't actually need our taxes because they print the money anyway. And so it doesn't matter whether or not we pay them, 20% of our income, because they're going to print whatever they need anyway. So who gives a shit?
If you have money saved away, it screws you out of labor you did 20 years ago, potentially. Like the inflation level is that bad.
If it's not in some kind of interest-bearing asset or something that's going to hold its value, like a precious metal or crypto, something.
No, not crypto, Bitcoin.
We're an explicitly Bitcoin show.
Oh, excuse me.
I will not allow any other cryptos to be promoted on this show.
What about Bitcoin?
Hex?
Bitcoin.
I'm
We
on
were all
USDC,
about Hex a
you
couple
know what I'm
months
saying?
ago.
Months? That was like 2 years ago.
Ride the OG or go away.
I had to make my way through everything to learn what the best possible solution was, and that is Bitcoin. There's no other.
Believe me, I still have some shitcoins sitting around on a hardware wallet just because I don't feel like taking a tax hit on selling it.
My highest
swapped
percentage
everything
growth
for
right now is
Bitcoin.
XRP. I'll go ahead and say that. But
Okay, we need to definitely. There we go. Okay, so
but I know ideologically, it's terrible as a currency.
can I? I'm just going to mute you too. You're just muted
Jake,
now.
do you know that?
I can't have you talk anymore this episode.
Do you know that Parks and Rec?
Well, which one?
The Parks and Rec line where Andy's like talking to people about investments, and he's like, "I bought some T-shirts, left those at a Wendy's." The economy. It's one of my favorite Parks and Rec lines.
Oh,
It's
man.
such a good. We were watching Parks and Rec last night. It's so good. The economy.
It's one of the best shows and also one of the most frustrating at times.
Yeah,
Where
I mean,
have
they
these,
love
like,
government with that show. Man.
They've got these injected, like, the fucking fluoride
The
episode.
fluoride episode.
I can't handle it. Anyway, don't even get me
Who wants to
started.
know if she should keep putting 20% of her paychecks into Dogecoin?
To the moon. If you want a Lambo, yes.
That is the
Absolutely.
funniest thing I've ever seen.
So yeah,
I would rather
tomorrow
do
night-
that than 20% in taxes, but
Tomorrow night is the halvening. Bitcoin's
Tomorrow night?
halving. Tomorrow night it
Okay.
appears that's when it's going to happen. And so,
last I checked, it was estimated about 10 p.m. UTC.
so the rewards tomorrow night at 10 p.m. UTC ish, the rewards will drop for your miners from 612, I can't remember what it is, but 6 down to 3 basically. Be cut in half, which will definitely inflate the value of Bitcoin over the next few weeks.
because
Jamie
people can
Dimon
feel
said
like
that-
they buy
that
more.
the halving, the effect on the price is already baked in.
Oh yeah, no, that's exactly what happens if you go back and look at the charts. You freaking idiot.
Right.
Right. Jamie Dimon, that is the smartest dumb dude I've ever listened to. Like, he is so annoying when it comes to Bitcoin. There's just a liar.
He's a walking, talking SEC violation. Like, because when he does that, it moves markets.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like Musk can send a tweet and he gets kicked off his board of directors. But this guy gets to go on MSNBC every other day and move markets to his favor. And we're fine with that.
Yeah, while he bashes Bitcoin, he's secretly buying it whenever it dips. Like,
yes,
he's such a hypocritical douchebag.
You should that secret.
It was secret for a while, and then it got uncovered.
Yeah.
That he had his entire European division of his company buying Bitcoin under the table, while he was simultaneously bashing it over here in the States.
Yeah, public ledger and all that. It's it's a feat to behold.
Oh, it's unbelievable. So anyway, get your Bitcoin now. I had massive trouble trying to get Bitcoin this past week. My bank rejected wire transfers to my Bitcoin accounts.
It's because you're in Montana.
No. So I wire transferred from my bank account to other bank accounts before. No problems. They don't question it. They don't reject it. They don't call me. They don't do anything.
I've transferred stuff to your account.
There we go. As soon as I wire something to my Swan account, they reverse the wire every single time, no matter what. They say they call me. They don't actually call me. And my theory is that they have no interest in. I mean, Capital One is one of the least Bitcoin friendly banks out there.
Is that what you have?
Yeah. Chase is the worst. Chase is the worst Bitcoin friendly bank out there.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, no. What
Yeah,
was it? The Barney
Jamie
Frank bank
Dimon
that tanked. What was it Signature Bank up in New York?
What was that, Steven?
I think Signature Bank, the one where Barney Frank was on the board of directors, the one that just tanked a couple of months ago. We covered that.
Yeah.
I think they were doing that kind of stuff too, and I think they were even like,
weren't they shitcoining hard?
Well, if you were making certain gun purchases, they were blocking that as well.
Wow. Well, I'm going to be shutting down my Capital One account because I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'll be going outside. I think there's some very Bitcoin friendly banks out there. One of them is called Juno.
I've heard of
that was my first email account.
They're
probably not the same company.
Not spelled the same way.
Juno too.
Not spelled the same way.
I think there was a. I think there. I can't remember what it was. Was it Level or something? Another bank that was basically gave you a Bitcoin account in their system. Like they were like a complete Bitcoin account.
Grumpy says these great things about FTX.
I heard that most of the people who got rug pulled with the increase in the prices.
Now.
Yeah.
Not a
actually, you should have been buying you should have been buying 12 years ago, but
thanks for that. Nice, Nick.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a healthy entry point, you can spend 20, 30 minutes looking at YouTube videos on how to do a Fibonacci retracement.
I'm always looking for a healthy entry point.
Oh yeah.
I just bought more Bitcoin.
What?
I just bought more Bitcoin.
He just bought more Bitcoin as we're talking. How about that?
Yeah.
There we
Always
go.
buy more Bitcoin.
What's in your wallet?
Get out of the.
There we go.
You go to the fiat mines and mine your fiat, and then you buy some Bitcoin with it.
That's it.
There we go. We actually, I have a hunch. We live on a creek up here. I have a hunch there's lots of gold in this creek.
I have a good feeling about it.
There's
Like
gold in the
really
creek?
good feeling.
There's gold in the creek, man.
I think so.
Yeah. We're gonna mine it. We're gonna take all the gold. And we're gonna not do this show anymore because I'll be.
I'll
too
go
rich
out
for y'all.
there in the summers
Trade all
and
the
just
gold for
pay 'em.
Bitcoin.
And that sounds fun,
do
though.
the show because we do this show for fun. It's just we'd have a higher production value.
Oh, we do it for fun. What? No one told me
Well,
this.
I do
apparently
it for
all
the
I
promise of
apparently,
while we're
yeah.
panning.
Apparently all I get
Wait,
out
you
of
guys
this
are having
is a
fun?
bottle of wine, which I could get a free bottle of wine by calling Will and asking for a free bottle of wine.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to do that. Don't put Will out. He needs money now. So, all right, y'all. Let's. Nick, are you sticking around? How long are you sticking around tonight? I want to know when
believe I have
do-
nerd meeting tonight. I think I don't believe it's. I think I'm off this week. So
So you're sticking around the whole time.
Huzzah.
Yeah.
Well, then, in that case, welcome to Liberty Libations Trivia, everybody. Zach, can we get the music going? Come
I
on.
refuse to play until there's music.
I know. We got to have Rat Pack Unity playing in the background. Everybody, Liberty Libations Trivia. This day in history, stunting and Montana are the categories. So the issue here is that me and Chris are sharing one computer, which means he is.
You guys should get two different color cards or something. Or wait, yeah, Jake's host.
I'm not playing. So my screen is mirrored, which means I had to write down all of the questions. Otherwise, he'd be able to see the answer.
Oh, gotcha.
About 10 minutes before the show, I was like, "Oh my god, gotta write it down."
I forgot how to write.
So if I pause for a second, it's because I can't read my own writing, and that's what it is. All right, 3 rounds, 10 questions in the first round, 5 in the second, 3 in the third, 1, 2, and 3 points each. Every question is a free-for-all. You must reach and cover your camera. Even you, don't reach towards me, please.
Understood.
Don't do that. All right, the winner is no longer a loser. This is the scoreboard for this year. Zane has 7, Alden has 3, audience has 2. Audience has won more than Zach, Nick, and Steve.
I think I've only played maybe once or twice this year, though.
Okay, are we just gonna make excuses? Is that what's happening?
I think
All
I
right,
killed
y'all.
most of my brain cells in college, so
You didn't have anyone you got there.
I'm killing them every day.
yeah, that's fair.
Okay, first question after Chris pours this finger of whiskey. Here we go. On this day in 1906, what event occurred in San Francisco that killed thousands? That was Nick.
The Great San Francisco Earthquake.
Ding, ding, ding.
There we
It's
go.
the Great San Francisco Earthquake.
It was
All
caused by
right.
cloud seeding.
No, it was
And
climate
climate change.
change, just like the
Oh,
solar
there-
eclipse.
yeah, right. The solar eclipse, right?
All right. Let's see. Yeah, Grumpy, you did get it, but you were behind. Sorry.
I didn't expect
Oh, Hannah says she would buy Bitcoin now, but Peter Schiff told her not to.
Yeah, go buy shiny rock from him.
There we go. All right. Question number 2. On this day in 2014, the deadliest day in its history occurred at what landmark? Alden.
2014.
Yeah, it's Steven, then Nick, and then Chris. After all,
Never mind. I thought it was something else. I pass.
Steven.
Easter Island.
Incorrect. Nick.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Maidan.
What is that?
Your dong?
I was going with Ukraine on this one and saying the Maidan.
Oh, no. It's the deadliest day in this landmark's history. Occurred at this landmark in 2014. Chris, what's your guess?
I was gonna say Boston, but then they said landmark, and now I'm confused. Boston Marathon was what I was going with.
Okay, incorrect. Y'all get a hint now.
Right.
The hint is it is a geographical landmark.
Okay.
Alden?
Is it the tsunami?
Nope.
I don't know what the landmark would be for that, but
Steven?
The Deepwater Horizon spill in the Gulf
No.
of Mexico.
Nick?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess MH370.
Nope. You'll get a hint after Chris guesses one more time. Hannah? No. Hannah? No. Hannah? No.
is the Statue of Liberty is a landmark? Does it have to be natural or can it be man-made?
He said geographical.
geographic.
Grand Canyon.
Incorrect. All right. The hint is 16 guides died. Alden.
Everest.
Mount Everest is correct.
Ooh.
Bravo. That took a while. Actually, not bravo. You guys suck for not knowing that.
Yeah, it took a
I'm
You
while.
gonna
asked
say the
that
volcano
question.
in the volcano in New Zealand because there's a documentary about it.
All right. Let's see. On this day in 1983, a suicide bomber destroyed the U.S. Embassy in what city? Alden.
The Unabomber.
Oh my gosh. That was not the question. Stephen.
Beirut.
Beirut is correct. Bravo, Stephen. Alden, I'm muting you for the next question. All right. On this day in 1956, Prince Rainier of Monaco married what famous actress? Nick.
Was it Grace Kelly?
It is Grace
Nice.
Kelly.
Wow.
Bravo, Nick.
What are you, my dad?
I don't know how I know that one, but
It was a big deal. It was a big deal. She quit acting to marry the prince. It was wild.
a city that's like
Did he
smaller
quit
than Dick's
Princing?
property in Montana.
He did not quit princing, and I didn't hear what Nick said. But
Sorry.
I'm sure it was funny.
I said he's the prince of a city smaller than your property in Montana.
Yeah, that's
The
true.
Princess
That's
Diaries.
true.
What
Oh,
was
goodness.
the Princess Diaries? What was the princess of? What was the city state or whatever that was?
Alden, look who you're talking to.
A room full of bearded women. Yes,
I'm sure Hannah's probably in the chat and can answer the question for you.
Hannah.
Could probably answer it. Yeah. All right. On
Help.
this day in 1775, who was the other rider alongside Paul Revere? Alden.
The horse.
Oh my gosh. Incorrect.
It's kind of true. The horse is there, man.
So,
Incorrect.
Jackie Chan. Yeah, I saw Shanghai
Nick.
Noon.
oh,
I'm gonna
Oh.
go with Samuel Adams because someone had to bring the beer.
No. I love that reasoning, but incorrect. Steven? Chris? Steven?
Yeah, the Spirit of Liberty.
No. Oh my gosh. No. How do you guys not know your American history? This is
The
sad.
Holy Spirit.
I've heard the guy's name at one time, but I do not know it right now.
Nick.
Trick question: there was no second rider.
There was a second rider.
there was. I remember.
It's to Chris. You have 10 seconds to answer. Otherwise, it opens back up to the floor.
It's gonna end up opening back up to the floor. My brain is completely shot to shit. But I know that, like, I can picture the cartoon, watching the cartoon when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. He was in the cartoon. Or a cartoon.
Yeah. That is.
All right. Alden, back to you, buddy.
Ichabod Crane.
No. Great guess. Steven.
It was Sam Johnson. Sam Johnson.
Incorrect.
Go through more of the founding fathers.
He was not a founding father. It's just everybody just blurt out answers if you have them.
Johnny Appleseed.
No. All right, y'all. You're not going to get this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. William Dawes.
I've heard the name.
Yeah.
And if Zane is listening to this, I'm sure he just had a stroke.
He will listen to this, and he will definitely be very upset.
I'm going to find out what hospital he's going to be admitted to.
All right. On this day in 1999, considered one of the greats, who played their last NHL game? Alden.
That one guy.
You have 5 seconds.
I literally
goes
am.
to
I
Steven.
had a name.
Steven
Wayne
who?
Gretzky.
Oh,
I'm so hoping you would miss it.
unbelievable.
I was brain farting on him.
Yeah.
That one actually.
That was good. Chris, you would have gotten right after Steven. So
I'm
I don't know.
surprised
Steven,
I
would you have
got it.
gotten that one right?
Mary
Yeah.
Lemieux was better.
I knew it and then forgot it and then knew it again. Like that's how my
It's
brain
the
works.
Pittsburgh fan. This is the
Mary
Pittsburgh
Lemieux
fan. Of
and-
course
yeah.
he's going to say that.
Jaromir
Very
Jagr.
magnifique.
Yammer Yager. I love Yammer Yager. All right. On this day in 1980, what African nation achieved independence from the UK? Steven.
Botswana.
No.
Oh.
Well, hang on. Hang on. Now
What year?
Pause. I have to make sure.
He
'cause I
can't
don't
read
have
his
the
handwriting.
answers. I don't have the answers written down. Yeah. Just give me 1 second, everybody.
You're just going from memory?
I've been going from memory this whole time, and I
He wrote it. He should know the answers. This is bad hosting.
Hey! Shut your mouth. Okay, we're back. Steven, you were incorrect. Nick, it goes to you.
All right, what year was it?
It was 1980.
I'm going to go with Sudan.
No. Alden and then Chris.
Ivory Coast?
No. Chris.
Uganda?
Not Uganda. Open back up. Nick.
Rhodesia.
Nope. Alden.
Zimbabwe. Hey.
Zimbabwe is correct.
Wow.
That's kind of Rhodesia.
And only my second guess.
That is kind of Rhodesia.
No, it was Rhodesia in the 40s.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
Rhodesia.
Rhodesia became Zimbabwe, so I should get half a
That is,
point.
no,
Like still
no,
saying
you
it's
shouldn't.
the
That
second
is not the same thing. All right. On this day in 1942, the Doolittle raid was carried out in what city? Nick.
What year was it again?
1942.
1942. Dresden.
No. And Grumpy, I take offense to that. I got a lot going on here. Okay. Alden.
Minneapolis.
What? No.
That wasn't a city in 1942.
Chris.
Chicago?
No, it's not. It's not a local city. It is an international city because this is World War II. Steven.
Toronto.
No. What are you talking about?
He said not domestic.
Do you think somebody named Doolittle is bombing Canada? No. Nick.
I'm guessing cities here. I'm gonna go with Tokyo.
Oh, wow.
Tokyo
Wow.
is the correct answer.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh,
I had 3 letters right. I want half a point.
All right. Question number 9. On this day in 1506, Pope Julius II laid the first stone of what structure? Stephen.
The Basilica?
St. Peter's
Nice.
Basilica in Vatican City. Bravo, Stephen.
It was his personal
All right.
outhouse. That's what he was building. First stone.
You know, put some work into it so you can really enjoy that morning constitution.
All right. Chris, pay attention to this one, buddy.
You're trying.
On this day in 1949, what nation became an independent republic, intensifying a covert war known as the Troubles? Chris.
Ireland.
Oh.
Is correct.
I know this for so many reasons.
One, we did a movie together called The Troubles.
Yeah.
So he should have definitely known that.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh-huh.
After one round, Nick and Alden are tied at 3. Steven has 2. Chris has 1. In the audience, I'm giving you -1 because of Grumpy's outburst. So y'all are at -1.
The audience gets a timeout. Did you guys see how Mr. Nichols did in the Masters?
I did not see how he did, but I'm sure he did great.
Oh, he did so good, yeah.
Hannah says, gotta go. Sorry, fellow audience. Formal petition to move trivia earlier in the show. Okay. We can move it to 30 minutes in. I'm down with that. Do one topic and then do trivia.
Objection.
Overruled.
Why objection, Nick? What's your objection?
I right as a member of the show to object to things.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no, that's fine. You can object.
Just
All
for
right.
the sake of objection.
Question number 1 of round 2. Each are worth 2 points. This first one is a 2-answer question, so you got to give me both. Which famous actor performed his own stunt in what movie by jumping a motorcycle over a barbed wire fence? Alden.
It's
Sorry.
oh my god, James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause.
Incorrect. Nick.
Tom Cruise in one of the Mission Impossibles.
Incorrect. Steven, did you raise your hand?
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator 1.
No.
What year?
This-
Did we say a year?
There's no year. This is not on this day. Which famous actor performed his own stunt in what movie by jumping a motorcycle over a barbed wire fence? Steven.
Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible.
No.
Didn't we just say that?
That's what I said.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Although I
Here's a
wasn't-
hint. Here's a hint, because this is embarrassing that y'all don't know this. This is really sad. This movie took the setting of this movie was during World War II. Alden.
Saving Private Ryan?
No. Steven.
Captain America, Winter Soldier?
No.
not the Winter Soldier, but the first Captain America movie.
No, it's not any Marvel movie. Nick.
Okay.
That it would be more embarrassing that you
Was
knew
this,
it, not that you don't know.
Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones?
No. Zach got the movie right. The audience got the movie right.
Oh.
And the person.
Oh, Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen in The Great Escape. It's like
Wait,
the
wait, wait.
most iconic motorcycle chase scene ever.
But I can't think
I've never seen the movie.
Can I get a bonus point for naming the motorcycle?
What? There's no name of a motorcycle.
It's the motorcycle that he rode for it.
Oh, the brand?
Yeah, just the model of motorcycle.
You can get a bonus point in your own head if you want.
The Triumph, the Bonneville. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
it was the Bonneville.
Yeah.
It was the Bonneville.
Just
Great
to
movie.
prove that I didn't know it.
It's a nice bike to ride.
So I'm gonna have to. All of y'all get deducted so many points in my brain for not knowing.
What
Steve
about that I knew
McQueen.
the motorcycle?
Shut your mouth. I don't care. All right. Question number 2. Sorry, there we go. Steve McQueen in The Great Escape.
Right.
Question number 2. Which actress did many of her own stunts, including jumping from a moving car in Mad Max Fury Road? Alden.
Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron. That's correct.
Beat me to it.
Me and Chris know her stunt double.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it Anya Taylor-Joy? Because that's who's playing younger her now.
I'm stoked about that movie.
I know. I want to see it.
Yeah. All right. Which actor performed a zero-gravity fight scene in Inception? Alden.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is correct.
Wow.
Who are you going to say, Stephen?
DiCaprio.
To be fair, it was him and some other no-name guy, but
Hey.
mostly him.
It could also
that's
be
true.
Elliot Page at this point, right?
True.
Juno.
Grumpy's just going
Jackie
to
Chan.
pull that Jackie
You know what?
Chan lever.
All these
Shooting it out
stunt
there.
ones, it's perfect. Yeah.
All right. What actor performed his own stunt of sliding down a pole covered in hot coals in the movie Drunken Master 2? Chris. It is Jackie
Oh my
Chan.
God! No. No.
Like the second you got to the hot coals on it, I was like, "Oh, I actually know this one, like really, really well."
I almost just joked and said
That's
it.
so funny.
Damn it.
That is so funny.
It
Sorry,
really
Grumpy.
was. Yeah.
It's too
I'll
late
bet
in this one,
Grumpy.
dude.
I'll bet Grumpy had it, honestly.
It was definitely close. All right. Final question of round 2. In what movie did Tom Cruise perform the Halo jump? High altitude, low opening. Alden.
Mission Impossible 4.
I need the name of the movie, not
What?
1, 2,
Ghost
3, 4, 5,
Protocol
6.
or something. I don't know.
All right, you're incorrect. Nick.
Damn it. See, I don't know
then,
the name.
Nick, then Steven, then Chris.
I have to pass. The only name I could think of was Ghost Protocol. I have not kept up with my Mission Impossible.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right,
There's a
Steven.
new one every
numbered.
other year, and he's always doing something wild.
Okay, so it's apparently not Ghost Protocol now.
Everyone only knows Ghost Protocol, even though that wasn't even the best. Like that was a good one. It wasn't
Yeah,
great.
it's the water.
I mean, that one had the most incessant ad campaign. I think that was why
I
it was
think
kind of
that's right.
stuck.
It's because J.J. Abrams does his first one directing for the franchise. All right, Chris.
Fallout.
Fallout is correct.
Oh,
Oh, because he's like falling out of the sky.
hey, there you go.
I almost lost good whiskey from that, you asshole. That was good.
All right. After 2 rounds, Alden is in the lead with 7. Chris came back, has 5. Nick has 3. Steven and the audience have 2.
Wait, I have a
So-
question. Was
Yeah.
that 4? Was Fallout, was that 4 or was that not even right?
There's
No,
like
I think
7
that
of
was-
them at
I
this
think that
point.
was 5.
It's 5. Because
Oh,
you've got
okay.
1, 2, 3, and then
4 was Ghost Protocol. 5 was
Right.
Fallout. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought there were like
Because 3
7.
was, 3 was like the.
Yeah, I've seen them all. They're awesome. I love Mission Impossible movies.
3 was
They're so-
Brad Bird, I think, directed 3, right?
3 was so good. 3 so underrated. That's Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's amazing.
I see. I love.
everything.
I
It's
love.
got
Philip
Metallica
Seymour
on the
Hoffman,
soundtrack.
Yeah.
but I didn't care for that
Right?
movie that much.
Yeah, Alden. All right. This was all about the gold rush, y'all. Round number 3. 3 questions, 3 points each.
Grumpy's comment.
What's the one he was running in? Question number 1.
What's our topic?
This gold rush in Montana specifically.
Gold teeth.
Okay, question number 1. This is a year, so everybody gets a guess, and the closest gets it. Okay, there's no over under. It's just the closest person gets it. In what year did the Montana Gold Rush officially begin? Steven.
1948. Or 1848,
Okay.
excuse me, 1848.
Yeah, 18, I knew what you meant. Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let him have 1948. That's fine.
1855.
Okay. Chris.
1852.
Okay. Alden.
1846.
Price is Right rules.
1862. Nick gets it.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's actually.
Jumps into second place.
Okay, so I'm
All
thinking of
right.
the California Gold Rush.
Yep, you were thinking of the California
That
Gold
was
Rush.
There's an old
49.
rhyme that it starts with in 48 the miners came, in 49 the whores. And I don't remember how it goes. Like,
Does that even
No.
rhyme?
Is that a children's rhyme, Stephen?
yeah.
Depends on when.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 2. What Hang on. What was the name of the major mining town that emerged during the rush, becoming one of the richest cities in the world? I will take the original name or the current name. Alden.
San Francisco.
This is in Montana.
Okay, so Helen.
Bozeman.
Wait, what did you say, Alden?
Helena, whatever it is.
It's Helena.
Yeah.
Yeah, last chance.
Otherwise known as San
Yeah.
Francisco.
I was going to say Helena, damn it.
It means the whale's vagina.
Scholars maintain the translation was lost hundreds of years ago.
All right. Question number 3. Which Indian nation was most affected by the influx of prospectors during the gold rush? Stephen.
Sioux.
No. Alden.
Blackfoot.
That is
Blackfeet.
unbelievable. The Blackfeet Nation.
Nice.
Wow. How did you know that one, Alden? That is
It's
very
the
impressive.
just region, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, look what happened. Alden gets the W. How about that?
Zane's not here, so yeah, someone has to win.
You know, it is.
My number
It is
was 3 to
pleasant.
4 with Zane when I was like before I bought the house, and then when I came back, mine was 3, and his just went up every
Yeah.
week. Did he win every week I was gone?
He won every week.
Good
Every
God.
time. He wins so often. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yep. Super
You gotta make
depressing.
him host at some point.
I got to brush him on my Montana history, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently so. Yeah. I would love to. It would be interesting to make Zane run the trivia each week, so I don't have to, and that he can't win because I
But you know
suck at
he's gonna
trivia.
find but you're gonna find him finding all sorts of obscure shit.
What size
Yeah.
foot
Oh, yeah.
was
No-
Steve
no one would
McQueen's? He had 2 different size feet. What was his left foot? Yeah.
8.5. But his right foot was a 9.
All
9
right.
3/4.
We forgot about the best tax meme that came from this week. Zach, throw it up on screen real quick. You paid for this, and you paid for this too.
Yes.
Roses are red, taxes are due. You paid for this, and you paid for this too.
Perfect.
Well, and when I saw Mark Cuban make his post, because I think the estimate was like he paid like $200-something million in taxes, right? And he was like proud
Yeah,
of it.
which had nothing close to the right percentage.
There's
Well, yeah.
no right percentage. 0% is the
But-
correct percentage.
Well, of course, but that could fund the federal government for something like 19 minutes or 21
Yeah.
minutes, something like that. So I was just thinking, just a little shower thought that day. I was like, what if the federal government did like thank yous to like their largest donors or something like that? Like, hey, this Patriot missile is dedicated to Mark Cuban.
Oh, that's
Ground kids you just annihilated.
Oh my God.
that is
Steven,
so
that's-
good.
That's
Dude,
terrible
that's a-
and brilliant. Yeah.
That's a really funny thing for like somebody not in the government to do is like pick out all these things that are paid for with taxpayer dollars and
And the
memorialize
value
them.
based on the value
Yeah.
that they put into
Yeah.
It feels like
I could
That's pretty good.
Yeah, like when
see
you
that
just,
coming.
level a whole town in Ukraine or something like that, and it's just like this is paid for by Illinois.
Right.
Thank you, Illinois.
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
typically like a libertarian thing. Like this road was cleaned by this company, except for now it's the tables have turned a little bit. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
This drone strike was brought to you by Amazon.
yeah, perfect.
sure it's not Pfizer.
Except we know it's not Amazon. No.
Thank you,
All
Montana,
right.
for your income taxes. We built these golf courses.
There we go. All right, y'all. So no one told me this. I was unaware, but apparently the Libertarian Party is dead. I've been told that it's a spectacular implosion of the Libertarian Party, written up by some hacks over at Mother Jones. Oh, my bad. There we go.
I'm glad you told me. I guess I'll just leave.
Yeah, I had no idea. So we all got to find a new party. Apparently, it's going to be a struggle.
And ironically enough, no one wrote an article about the implosion of Mother Jones years ago because no one really cares that much.
Yeah,
some of
someone-
this is pretty good for like a historical timeline. Like if you're not familiar with the Libertarian Party,
yeah. If you can see past people's opinions in this article, then yes,
Wow.
it's a great timeline.
John McCain's brain tumor saved more lives than Anthony Fauci.
Yeah. That's what the LP New Hampshire account tweeted.
That one aged
That
really
might
well,
be a
by the
true
way.
sentence, though. I don't
Yeah.
That one's probably a true sentence. Honestly. I'm fully on board with that. This is why I wanted to leave LP George's account so that we could be like talk about things like this. But yeah, this person basically, they do give a good historical reference, but they make entirely incorrect conclusions. They basically say that since the Mises takeover, since what was it, 2022? Was that when we took over? Yeah, 2022. That we have imploded the organization, that we no longer are ever going to get the vote counts we got before, that it's basically...
they're quoting David Bose. So
there we go.
You know how you already know it's a hack hit job when you're talking to David Bose.
Tell people who David Bose is, Nick, because no one knows except you and me.
Oh, he distinguished senior fellow at Cato. As that says there. I thought he was running it at one point, but he's like the definition of beltway libertarian, regime libertarian, which is basically the libertarians who are out there using libertarian principles to justify everything and always have the same opinion as the corporate media. So it was the ones during COVID who were, I'm wearing my mask and you shouldn't have to, but it's your responsibility to wear your mask to protect your fellow human being.
So you shouldn't, but do it. Okay.
Yeah, it's like you should voluntarily do what you're being told because it's the right thing to do.
Why are you going to close the border to your own mouth? I mean,
or
seems counterproductive.
Or
I can't eat foods.
Or instead of standing there saying, "Hey, Ukraine, we shouldn't have been messing around in Ukraine in 2014, overthrowing their elected government, but also it's not our responsibility to, it's not our deal to go fund their war and everything like that." And the regime libertarian would say, "No, they're fighting for their freedom against the huge giant oppressor, so we should stand with them and give them your tax money."
Yes.
So
she quotes the people. This person, no, not she. He. I get confused because it's Mother Jones. He quotes all the people who were displaced by Mises taking over the LP, and so it's a bunch of people who are bitter that they no longer have their jobs within the LP, and that the LP is not how they wanted it, how it was going, even though.
Of course, it says paleo, so drink. It says Ron Paul newsletter, drink.
Yeah, it's obsessed with all this.
Every single hit that ever is put out there. Just
yes,
it's the same kind of stuff that was spewed by like what was it, the Southern Poverty Law Center in 2022 leading up to Reno. I mean, it's basically
just a continuation. So wait, did it just say that Ron Paul did not support LGBTQ equality?
That's what it says.
Okay.
He absolutely did not oppose LGBTQ equality.
I've never heard the man, and I've consumed as much of his media as I could for the last 16 years. I've never heard him say that one specific group deserves.
No, he's never said
less
that.
equality.
Oh, it's just he doesn't say that one group deserves more equality than everyone else.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
There's the rub.
Ron Paul has never said that, and he believes everyone should have equal rights under the law. His personal belief, I believe, since he is a devout Christian, is that
treason.
What's that?
It's the sort of people who call Cato Stato and Reason treason, which is funny. I've called Reason CNN.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, it's just a whole bunch of out of context quotes and from people who are bitter that they lost their spot here in the LP and that they don't like where the LP is going.
So it's imploding.
I love the randomness of some of the quotes in here.
Yeah, some of the quotes
it feels all
hilarious.
Charlottesville drank.
Look, yeah, blood and soil and God and nation still matter to people. The players, but blood and soil, of course, matters to a very specific group of people. Oh my goodness.
They're taking dice way out of context every time that comes up.
Did they
It's like they skip that whole speech and they just go to that last line. He said blood and soil. That's a that's a dog whistle. And yep, there's Cantwell, Richard Spencer, drink.
Did they at least mention dancing naked fat guy? I didn't read the entire article.
I think that was before this.
How could you read the entire article? This thing is like 3 hours of reading.
Yeah, you've been scrolling.
I skimmed it for like 20 seconds and went,
a while.
I read about half of it and I was like, I can't finish this. Like,
I got tired of it.
I got trying to read this.
Okay, so yeah,
now we're getting into Alex Jones.
The basic gist is that this person quotes all these people saying that the Libertarian Party is imploding because we are not getting the same election results that we got prior to the takeover. But what he doesn't take into account is that we've only been in charge for 2 years, not even a full 2 years, and that generally rebuilding an organization that has driven itself. Hang on, everybody be quiet.
Sorry.
Rebuilding an organization that has driven itself into the ground and lost all sense of principles and morality, bringing that back up from nothing takes a long time, takes a lot of planning, a lot of execution. It isn't something that just happens overnight in a year and a half when there hasn't been any major elections.
And when you talk to some of the people who like especially people who may work for the National Party or things like that, you find out like how messed up things really were. And there was a whole bunch of stuff that was just being like patched over by former thing that's everyone there now is trying to say, hey, this is a real problem. Like, for example, Civi CRM, right? The National Party CRM that's provided by free because it's free and open source software. The way that the national bylaws define membership, like a dues paying member. So you have to sign the pledge to be a member. And then if you want to be what's called a sustaining member, you have to pay the $25 a year. But that's $25 within any annual time frame. So if you're donating $5 a month, when you hit $25, then that kicks in. And if you at some point you cut it off, it's going to keep running out until that year time frame going back is less than $25. And that's when it's supposed to do. But the software is completely incapable of handling that. And so that's why membership numbers are all over the place, because no one can actually tell what it is based off of what the old
Civi CRM sucks. Okay, I've dealt with it many years now.
I'm just pointing out like one of the very well-known issues with it is that, because we discussed that like on the national bylaws call, because we proposed in order to like try to clean up membership, we're proposing a I don't know if it's I think it's in the report, but to just straight up say it has to be a single donation of $25 instead of all this other all this rolling stuff, because just to ensure it can happen and we can track it. So like there's that. I know the system's not great at merging stuff. So like I got 3 letters the other day on the same day from them saying last call for convention, the exact same letter, 3 of them. And I'm like, hey, I got 3 of these because I think I probably have multiple entries in the system because it just does that.
I get multiple emails from LP because Civi CRM is terrible. It's a terrible platform and I hate it so much. I stopped dealing with it. It's a terrible program. So whoever wrote that code needs to rethink their life in coding. It's terrible.
So I know that they're moving away from that, and there's things like that, and there's been great things too. Because I've been talking a little bit about like voter gravity, which I think is currently being completely underused at the National Party, subsidizing for all the states. For shits and giggles, just wondering, we ran this has everyone's data on it. Like it's, all the public data you can buy. We ran a search on how many registered libertarians there are in PA. So not necessarily party members, but who's registered partisan libertarian. That makes over 200,000 a year, and there's 2,000 entries there. So that's 2,000 potential people to make solid money every year to go, hey, you got a little bit of, that we can focus a campaign on. We didn't have that kind of January 6th drink.
Yeah. I mean, they hit every single buzzword in here.
I saw earlier the
Yeah, go ahead.
9/11 thing came up at one point too, and they were like throwing 9/11 truthers under the bus. Like, it's just like, it's word vomit of like every buzzword ever. It's crazy.
Yeah. And like they're getting mad at people for inviting people onto their show. Like
Right.
Dave Smith has talked to actual Nazis on his show because he wants to know what their perspective is and what their thoughts are.
Yeah,
See,
and that's
so
his show. It has nothing to do with us. He can talk to who he wants to on his show.
But people hate that. The idea of platforming somebody who has egregious principles and egregious take on morality is incomprehensible to these people. They want these people to be shut out entirely from society. They don't want them to be involved in the world at all. They don't want anybody hearing anything these people have to say because they think that their words are dangerous in some way, shape, or form, which is crazy.
I think it's more dangerous to keep pushing those people out, and then they find their own little underground bubbles, and then they feel butthurt about it, and then they do something about it, and that's probably not good, man. It's better to listen and find middle ground.
Nobody has the ability to grow and expand beyond their own perspective, no matter how sheltered or dark it is, without discourse with others.
Yes.
Agreed. Well said.
Perfectly
That's why
said.
we all have different voices and opinions and backgrounds, and why we have a language is that we're supposed to, I think, do this. I think it's a function of civilization is to share. And it's a uniquely human thing, actually, too, to see somebody else's experience and be able to learn from somebody else's experience without you having actually done that. There's been studies of this with the animal kingdom where, an animal, almost all animals, will watch another animal do a thing, and they rarely learn without they themselves doing it and making that same mistake and going, ow, that hurt. Okay, now I won't do that. But we have the unique ability to look at somebody else's story and to take wisdom from that without actually literally having lived in their shoes, but through discourse, as Chris said, which is something that I think we should do more, not less. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah, those are the three main topics for tonight. Breaking news: U.S. officials have confirmed that Israeli aircraft have struck a location in Iran. Oh boy.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like Israel's not been known to carry out things inside of Iran, right? So every so often the nuclear scientist gets blown up inside of Iran, or Stuxnet is always a fun one.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. If something else happens, Grumpy, put it in the chat, man, because we're not monitoring the wires.
Yeah, if the nukes start flying, I guess just don't tell us at that point.
If the nukes start flying, me and Chris will be able to look out this window and see them take off.
Yeah, you're in
we're in the silos
the nuclear sponge.
It's gonna be great. It'll be like a fireworks show.
Hey, let's try to protect DC by sticking all the nukes out where all the common Midwesterners are.
Yep, that's great.
You got it.
All right, y'all. Well, those are our three main topics for tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and do this.
I am not fucking drunk.
Well, my teeth are blue.
Every pretty girl deserves to go to a ball.
This is everything about it's a clam. I love it.
I gotta be honest with you, I feel like I'm a little bit too drunk to stand up.
On Wiedersehen, asshole.
I'm drunk right now.
All right. So welcome to Drunkard of the Week. I will admit, I did not create the video we're about to watch. It was out there on Twitter. It's from, I think it's somebody running for Congress. Somebody running for some government position out of San Diego. And so, yeah, this is
Diego.
about 2 minutes long. So enjoy the stupidity of what you're about to see.
We call a 10-year plan to end chronic homelessness in San Francisco.
How are you going to solve homelessness? What are you going to do as a new mayor? And I say, well, what are you going to do?
Focus on a housing first model, direct access to housing. Shelter, solve sleep, housing with wraparound and support services, solve homelessness. Homelessness absolutely can be
It's 8
solved.
years
Laid
into
out
it.
a detailed homeless
12 years
strategy.
into
There's
it.
been no intentionality on homelessness in this state for decades. It's not been a focus. I don't think we can solve homelessness. I know we can solve
13
homelessness.
years
We will
into it.
reduce street homelessness quickly and
14 years
humanely
into it.
through emergency action. The highest investment the state's ever made is $1 billion
15
on
years
homelessness.
into
We are poised to pass a budget in the next few hours that will provide $12 billion of investment. I can literally quantify 58,000 people that we got off the streets last year, and none of you would believe it. This state has not made progress in the last 2 decades as it relates to homelessness. Why? We're not interested in funding failure. We're not interested in failing more efficiently when it comes to the issue of homelessness and the crisis on the street.
I'm not as think as you drunk I am.
I love how much money he says that they've spent, and then to finish with, they've made no progress. Is like, oh my god, the perfect close to that bit.
Yeah.
So for those just listening, that was Gavin Newsom. That was Gavin Newsom talking about homelessness in
Isn't he
California.
great?
I just saw an article today about a tiny house little shack thing that they put up in San Francisco, where I think each unit they put in was costing like $111,000. Like it's
What?
a multi-million-dollar development, and
They
the
did
plan
something
is
similar
that it's going to operate for several years until they can break ground on a permanent facility.
For the what,
So-
$1 billion? That's crazy.
Yeah,
I
it's
could build a house
absolutely-
for less than that.
Yeah,
We're building ours isn't even a tiny house. Ours is like a 800 square foot house, and we're building it for under $50,000.
I was gonna say 45 or something was gonna be my guess for 800. Like,
What the
absolutely.
heck?
like people were like, because I think part of the article was like in Oakland they did something like this for like less than half the price. Like it's multiple times more expensive than anywhere else, and you just know it's just all of Newsom's friends just taking in their just raking in the cash.
Yeah. I mean, the people in charge of the homelessness situation, I think there are 7 or 8 people who make in the high 6 figures salary.
wow.
So where do you think the money's going, y'all? Do you think it's going towards actual homeless problems, or do you think it's going towards embezzlement and
Right over here,
But also,
pocket, and
Exactly.
over in that pocket.
Yeah.
but also just like just creating these people are homeless, so let's keep them
$100,000.
It doesn't solve the underlying issue, right? Like
No.
yeah, there's people who fall in hard times, but often a whole lot of them, it's mental illness, it's drug addiction, it's everything like that. And as long as you're just like, hey, come here, we're going to give you a ton of stuff for free, you're going to get homeless people showing up there for free. And then when you're in a climate that's not terrible, it's not blazing hot in the summer and it's not freezing cold in the winter, you kind of then also attract more people who are like, I don't know, I can live fairly stably year round here in a tent.
$100,000 shanty screams laundering.
Oh yeah.
yes, it does.
That's ridiculous.
All right. Well, that was our drunkard of the week, Mr. Gavin Newsom.
That's about right.
I thought that pretty much
That's about
suited
right,
us well. All right, y'all. We have I only have 4 more topics. I'm gonna pick. Sorry, Stephen. I think the NGO one. We're gonna wait to get more info on that one.
Okay.
Because there was just that one article. Let's try to cover that next week if we can gather more information on it, because that's super interesting to me.
Oh yeah.
So we'll cover that next week. We'll try to cover these last 3 pretty quickly, and then go to some funny videos, and then get everybody out of here. All right, y'all. Meta sells Facebook messages to Netflix for $100 million. Lawsuit revealed that Facebook sold all of its users' private messages to Netflix for $100 million. So anybody out there who thinks that you're messaging people privately within any messaging app, especially those that are social media related, think again. These people own everything you do on their platform. If the service is free, you are the product.
Yeah,
okay?
That's a good line. That's a great line, actually.
Yep. If the service is free, you're the product. They just made $100 million off of messages you sent.
That's really ironic because last year, one of the biggest documentaries on Netflix was The Social Network, talking about how the algorithms are gamed to make you feel alone and despondent and make you, cause you to make purchases, act impulsively, feel sad and depressed and isolated. And now here they are cashing in on that very thing.
Don't use it. Use carrier pigeons, y'all.
It's because these people do not. There you go. These people do not have principles whatsoever. This actually kind of goes back to the implosion of the Libertarian Party, because one of the lines in that article was somebody was quoted saying, like, do we want people to know who we are, or do we want to win elections? Which those things aren't necessarily incongruent, but
mutually exclusive. Yeah,
you can't. You can win more elections by lying, cheating, and stealing. And so the thing with the Libertarian Party is we were losing our principles with how it was being run prior to 2022. We were not doing things that we were supposed to be doing. We were doing things that we should never have been doing. And so the idea that trying to run for office, trying to win elections is somehow butting up against, sticking to your principles and making a name for yourself kind of shows you what the whole system is about.
I've told Haley that the day that there's a libertarian president is probably the day that I have to find another party, because we'll have probably abandoned our principles in order to get there. And so you think you want it.
Just run for city council.
Well, it's like when Jinko came out. Like, that was counterculture, but then everyone was wearing Jinkos, and so now all of a sudden you want counterculture. He had Jinkos on a month ago. Now he's back in Wranglers. So look at this guy.
It's not like I'm running with. It's not like I expect to win my election this year.
Yeah, but the point is to make a name for yourself, to get more people talking about the Libertarian Party, to stick to your principles. This is what I'm talking. This is what I was trying to bring it back to. Was Netflix made this documentary talking about the dangers of Facebook and other social media networks.
Mm-hmm.
Then they went out and
bought everyone's messages.
The horrendous. They made a deal with the horrendous people who sell your private messages.
They proved a point, is what they did.
Yes,
they went, hey, look, here's a show that's telling you all about how awful this company is. And guess what? I'm going to prove to you how awful it is. I'm going to do exactly what I'm telling you that they do.
Exactly.
Yeah, unless they give everyone back their messages and they're like, we just did it for fun. Then.
Yeah, we just, as soon as we received them, we hit delete.
Yeah.
The sad part is, like, I'm equal parts outraged and also excited about what kind of tailored content I'm going to be getting soon.
Dude, we're going to get
so
much January. We're going to get so much January 6th content over the next few years. It's going to be great.
Right? We're going to have some spicy content.
Anyway, so that was
a lot of J6 and a lot of porn. That's what we're gonna get.
There we go.
Netflix is gonna go to porn. Yeah.
I mean, I think we all agree that Meta selling Facebook messages to Netflix is an abomination and should never be done. And you should not be messaging people on Facebook. You should, like, anything that you think is private on Facebook is not. It's just not.
Yep.
Yeah.
They banned private groups. They banned Dave Smith's private group for having private conversations with people that they knew and trusted.
Private,
Assume you're in a crowded cafe.
Yeah.
If I'm having a private conversation, someone else can still hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well, I was in a group years ago called Stop Mandatory Vaccinations. It's not an anti-vax group. It said stop mandatory vaccinations.
That's the definition of anti-vaxxer.
And
opposing mandates.
I watched. I mean, like, while I was in this group, I watched national news, regional news, national news, just demonized the head of this group. Oh, he's even writing books and cashing in on his audience. And I'm like, and they're flashing things up, and I'm like, I'm in the group right now. I don't see this post you're putting up. Like, I'm searching. I'm personal friends with him now. I don't see this guy's like what you're putting on the news right now does not exist. It's not real.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
A
lo and
lie
behold, they
in
shut
the
the group
media?
down. They shut the group down before 2020 even happened. If that tells you anything.
Well, it would have been shut down in 2020 for sure.
Yeah, no, they shut it down like beginning of 2019.
All right. Next topic. Let's pull it up. Zach, Niger gives USA the boot. Niger ends military alliance with U.S. effective immediately. You don't hear these headlines very often where a country, you can hit play. Go ahead and hit play. Keep Hillary out.
Yeah, I just was reading that. Yeah.
I don't think there's any audio with this
And it's
video.
Niger, okay?
No, I can't call it Niger. I'm sorry. It's Niger. It's Niger. Okay, I don't call Paris Paris like I call Paris Paris. Okay,
or the train.
So I find it super interesting.
We're Americans and arrivederci.
Arrivederci. There we go.
I don't speak any Italian. Right.
So I remember in the last few months we discussed there was a conflict in Niger over a gas pipeline and who was going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was the Western-backed alliance, and then there was, is it Russia? Because I think Russia was down there as well, and then China was also down there.
China.
Yeah, I think BRICS basically.
So
was it bought with?
There's no doubt that this break in military alliance is over natural resources.
Was the pipeline from IMF loans, or was it from Chinese Belt and Road?
That's a good question. I actually don't know that answer.
And did the U.S. bomb it?
Not yet. That comes.
Yeah, not yet.
After they break the
That's
alliance.
about to happen.
So the thing I find most interesting is that, like, during this time when so much of the world seems to be going to war, a country. When was the last time you heard of a country saying we're breaking military ties, like we're breaking an alliance?
We're breaking up with the United States.
Like, I don't remember that almost ever happening. So I think
good for them.
I think it's pretty significant and like very
good on them.
Bravo.
They looked at the history and the track record, and they were like, you know what? They're fucking psychopaths, and we don't. Want
you know what? They haven't won since 1945.
Well, if Niger issues a statement that the 1911 is not the best pistol on the market, then we know they're trying to start something.
Okay. No, I think what we need to look out for next is if they take their money off the dollar standard, because if they do that, if they go to some other backed currency, or if they go to something like Bitcoin or whatever, then you might want to look out for an assassination attempt or a coup.
Were they
or a blown up pipeline?
Were they a BRICS plus country, or are they?
I don't think they're a BRICS plus country.
I have an important sidebar.
Go ahead,
Stephen. If you have a good, affordable 1911 platform chambered in 45, I want to know about it, because I'm not trying to spend $1,400 on one, but I want.
Oh, just get a Kimber, get it over with.
A Kimber, all right.
Yeah, get something like
Kimbers.
that. Yeah, if you like a jam.
I love jammed guns. Yeah.
Why would anyone get that?
See, this is what I don't know much about the 1911 like reliability of the cheaper ones, and I'm like, I just don't have $2,000 for a gun.
A Kimber is a really, really great piece of equipment if you need something to like just hold the door open or keep papers from
or beat a door open. Yeah.
Or like break a window, you could just throw it at the window.
We were just talking about this last night.
It's probably more reliable
$1,000+ to throw at a pistol. Get a Ruger 5.7.
I only know Kimber more for revolvers, and the revolvers seem fine, but
I mean, revolvers
are very simple machines.
Revolvers are simple.
I love my Ruger 5.7. I think the trigger response is way better than the FN counterpart.
Wait. I thought you lost your Ruger in a boating accident.
I did.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sorry.
What lake? I'm going.
I loved my Ruger 5.7.
Okay.
That's what I mean to bring up the.
Yeah.
I know that's.
It was fair and balanced, just like Fox News. And no, really, but the trigger response on the Ruger is way better than the FN. The FN is what the Belgian special forces use. Of course, the FN ammo is still really good.
I'm still saving up for a CZ that Alden has.
I got my baby.
Or that Alden lost. I mean.
I did not.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna go to the final topic. Then we'll watch some funny videos, and then we'll be done for the night. Let's throw it up there, Zach. Good news for raw milk and Amos Miller. So I don't know if y'all know who Amos Miller is. This is a massive farming case here in the United States. It's a guy who was producing
to not
go
pasteurize
ahead. Go ahead, Nick.
We passed a resolution that I wrote with the help of the ChatGPT machine at the LPPA convention.
Nice.
Last year. I was sitting there because that story was a little bit fresher a month ago at the LPPA convention. Yeah. And so even though I was busy, we got the first day we got done with business a lot quicker than we thought. And so second day we didn't have much to do and we had time to kill. So I stayed up super late and I typed into ChatGPT, write me a food freedom resolution from a libertarian perspective.
There we go.
Knocked that out in about 10 minutes. I went through and then I cut out some of the moderate stuff. That was like, we favor, reasonable regulations. I'm like, nope, no regulations.
No regulations.
And then I passed out the next morning to some of the guys, and they're like, oh, well, this is a little bit moderate here. So they went through and they marked up the stuff that I missed. And then we submitted it and I presented it and it passed unanimously. And we condemned the Department of Agriculture and everyone else and the state police. We condemned them. I think the USDA also. And that was fun.
Yeah,
so,
I love it. Thank you for contour farming, right? Because mid-late 40, height of the Dust Bowl, without something like crop rotation, cattle rotation, contour farming, which they did roll out. Those are awesome. Those are great common sense approaches. Probably would have happened without government intervention anyways, as the Dust Bowl kind of sucked the life out of everybody that was farming things. But since then, I can't think of a single thing they've done. My first home loan was a USDA loan. It was one of those subprime mortgages we all hear about, but I stayed in it. I didn't lose it. Other than that, what did they do good? I don't know. I mean, what are they really there for?
They help people stay off of my land. Because my land is technically agricultural.
Oh, interesting.
Is it?
That's interesting.
They tell you can't drink raw milk.
Yes. So we just went on a massive tangent before we even got to the daggum story. So Amos Miller was producing raw milk. Okay. He was producing and selling raw milk, was raided by the feds.
Jesus.
With fully armed raid by the feds because he's producing raw milk.
Everyone knows raw milk is
PA State Police and Department of Agriculture.
Department of Agriculture is the feds.
The PA Department of Agriculture.
Okay, I saw Department of Agriculture and I thought it was the feds. Okay, my mistake for spreading this information. That's my bad.
Yeah. State level raid. Okay.
State level raid on a guy's innocent. And free person's farm for producing a product that people want to consume.
Headline reads, "Man sells milk, gets raided."
There we go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. He's floated around for a little while. Like, this isn't the first time he's had run-ins.
So but this is one of the bigger ones.
Yeah. Well, this time it's getting a lot of attention, but there's been other times. But I believe he was working everything through a private membership club because you can get away with a lot more. And so everyone who's buying it knows they're buying raw milk. They're going him to buy raw milk. I believe there was a whole lot of stuff as far as
it's just regular milk, just not pasteurized, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's right. That's it.
That's right.
And everyone buying it knows exactly what they're buying, and they're seeking them out specifically to buy it.
It's got the enzymes,
it's the good stuff.
Also,
it really does. I mean, it tastes like ice cream compared to
so good.
If you grew up on the bleached, processed water that is, skim milk or 2% or whatever, that they're sneaking sugar into that crap, by the way.
So much sugar.
there's dairy associations in every state and every region, and nationwide thing. They're striking up deals with the sugar cane factories and all that kind of stuff. They're sneaking that it's in there.
And then they say like enriched with like vitamin whatever C or something.
They're leaving the sugar content out because it's negligible per serving size, but per gallon you've got 5 to 10 grams in there, which it's not a whole lot. But like, why are you putting sugar in it?
Yeah,
why are you flavoring the milk? Why are you watering it down, bleaching it out, flavoring it with something that's not natural? When the real milk is naturally sweet, it tastes like friggin' ice cream. It's so good.
It's so good. Oh my gosh. I started drinking raw milk a few months ago. It's so good.
Where'd you find it?
Then also I think there's been some other things as far as like he was selling I believe he was trying to sell beef and whatever else. And like there's a whole issue with that because of USDA regulations. And
because beef is terrible for people.
Yeah. So I believe
beef causes climate change.
So in a stroke of genius, but also that's going to make you go, what? I can't remember all the details, but I know he was raising, I believe, water buffalo and selling that for meat because it's not cattle, so it doesn't follow USDA regulations.
Nice.
I love this guy. I love this guy. He's fighting the government, man. He's fighting a good fight. He's a beast.
Raw milk is making a resurgence in Georgia because there's documentaries about that as well. Governor Kemp actually has been known to send SWAT teams to local farms that are selling raw milk to people, among other things.
But you got to remember, all these raw milk bottles that they're selling say it's for animal use only. Like you can feed it to your dog. You're only buying it to feed it to your dog. Okay?
Well, there you go. Well, and there's a couple of them that I know some folks that may or may not have bought some recently. And that's really their litmus test is like, hey, do you have any milk you can sell? They're like, what do you think about the government? And screw those guys. They're like, oh yeah, hey, I got something.
I got all the milk you need. Yeah.
That is one of the loopholes, right? Is they label it for animal use, not for human consumption.
This is the early days of trying to buy weed in the back corners of LA.
Right? Yeah, it's very akin to weed, honestly.
This reminds me of another.
It's crazy.
How weird is that though? That like the synthetic stuff is so prominent now that raw milk is banned, and that was there was an article I saw this week where like 38% of adults 18 to 24 now identify as neurodivergent. Whether you have like ADD or autism.
If we get any higher in claiming it, then it won't be divergent. It'll be the majority.
Exactly. So once they become. Once they become the majority, then the normal people are neurodivergent, right?
Yeah.
So then all they have to do is update the DSM, the psychiatric manual. And all they have to do is update that and declare it something like normal attention deficit syndrome. And then anybody with NADS gets red flagged and you can't buy guns.
NADS.
Yeah, you can't have NADS.
You can't have NADS. You can't have NADS in this brave new world. Nuh-uh.
Just a pair of snips and you're good to go.
Well,
I would
either way, it's great news.
You can get
Sorry, go ahead,
a pistol and you're set. As long as you don't have NADS, get it.
I am like majorly ADHD, like actually ADHD, and so that is a type of neurodivergency or whatever.
Yeah.
But okay.
I didn't believe in that until I met my wife. I was like, that's made up so they can sell more drugs. Right. Which, the guy that had it added to the DSM on his deathbed admitted that he made it up.
And watch her try to
German
make a potato
interview.
salad.
It's Googleable.
Yeah.
For God's sakes.
Googleable.
Yeah.
It'll take 3 hours to make a potato salad, man. Like I'm telling you, it's a thing. Like, but
yeah.
But over the last like 6 years or less, like I've been seeing just like on like YouTube and TikTok and shit like that, just like the concept blowing up. And now it's like the shit that like drives me crazy and has given me like a lot of challenges in life that I've had to overcome is now like cool to like align with. And now people are like, oh yeah, that's why I forgot my wife's anniversary one time is because I'm ADHD or whatever. And it's like, no, like that's not anyway, like it's becoming like a fucking fad now at this point, and it's driving me crazy. But
hey, it's okay. I just have neurodivergency. It's like, no, you're just an asshole.
Yeah, sometimes
you're just a narcissist. Like that's all it is.
Sometimes you're just a dumbass. Like, yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, we've reached the final part of our show. I need to remind y'all that we have a freaking merch store up and running. You can get some cool hats, some pint glasses, some sweet T-shirts. You got some wine
Let
glasses.
everyone
You
know
got
exactly how you feel about democracy.
There you go. You got it in water. There is bacteria drinking glass. You got. I don't have to work out. The government makes me sweat. You got this hot chick, displaying a divide and dominate T-shirt. We're gonna add more stuff to it later. It's gonna get bigger and bigger and more awesome items. So go get your Liberty Libations merch. All right, y'all, and drop a like on the video as well. Share it with your friends. Subscribe. Go over on Rumble. Subscribe on Rumble because that's where we're gonna last forever. Whereas YouTube, our days are numbered.
Yeah,
all right.
Until Rumble goes woke and throws us off.
Yeah, we'll find somewhere else.
We'll just switch to Odyssey, which we are. Oh shoot!
What?
No, we are. We're streaming on Odyssey tonight. Sweet.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay,
there we go. We're on Odyssey, everybody. There we go.
Yeah. After saying dads a few times, I think YouTube's going to take us down now. But
saying dads. Okay, so this is a week late, but this is Sheila Jack. I found the video of Sheila Jackson Lee trying to put on her solar viewing glasses.
Who was very excited? Sheila Jackson Lee. Yesterday, she went for
that's so good. I watch this every day for the rest of my life.
You have the energy of the moon at night, and sometimes you've heard the word full moon. Sometimes you need to take the opportunity just to come out and see a full moon is that complete rounded circle, which is made up mostly of gases. And that's why the question is why or how could we as humans live on the moon? Are the gases such that we could do that?
Oh my God.
The sun is a mighty powerful heat. It is almost impossible to go near the sun. The moon is more manageable. I don't know about you. I want to be first in line to know how to live and to be able to survive on the moon. That's another planet, which you're going to see shortly.
The moon is another planet.
You just named it a moon and a planet.
Contest speech.
Why are our elites so unimpressed?
I have so many great ideas that the bleach has literally absorbed through my brain. And
this person represents you in Congress.
Oh my God.
You got that going.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So the moon is both a moon, a planet, a gas planet.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. All of the above. All of the above. Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
And even the moon because it's not too close to the sun.
All right.
This is the lady who votes how to spend your tax dollars.
What did she say about the sun? It's a mighty heat,
it's a mighty heat. Yeah.
Oh my God!
More than
than
a day a week
comment.
you work. More than a day a week. More than a day a week. You work for her to spend that money.
Yep.
Oh my God.
I love Cherish D's comment, which is her and Kamala wrote that together. Which is pretty great.
Oh, man.
All right, next one. This is husband. If you can last 20 seconds without getting pinned, I'll buy you Taylor Swift tickets.
Are you ready for it? I was a robber. First time that he saw me.
We're gonna mute it. We're gonna mute it. Otherwise, we're gonna get kicked off YouTube.
Oh, sure.
It's a Taylor Swift song. But,
is it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So he was going to give her free tickets or get her tickets to Taylor Swift if he didn't pin her, and he pinned her. But she put up a heck of a fight.
I mean, you could tell he wasn't putting his full weight into it either.
No,
you could see the fire in her eyes, though. She really wanted
She
those
was,
tickets. Yeah. She was going all out.
You could see he was not going.
All right, this is nothing special. This is literally just a camel eating a lemon.
Right before.
不要怪我啊，这个东西可不是我让你吃的。来，忍住。3的话就忍住啊。
Camels are so weird, dude. Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
Let me try this again. Second go. Second go. No.
If you get the lemon, you can definitely swim.
Oh man. Yep.
All right. I have 5 tonight, y'all. Just FYI. So here's
But can they
number
swim?
4. Yeah, can they swim? That's the question.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it weird that whales like can't stay underwater? How fucking stupid is that? How fucked up? Like everyone's like, oh, whales and dolphins, the design is so cool. Bro, really kind of not. So stupid. And I can almost guarantee that most dolphins and whales, because I am now a marine biologist,
Right.
die en route to going up for that one breath of fresh air every 30 hours.
Do you think, I mean, it had to have happened, but like a whale has drowned? What a dumb way to go. If you're a whale, you're a whale. Bro, you're a whale. How do you drown?
That's the word. If you're legit, if you're like a marine animal and you die drowning, that's like me dying from breathing too much oxygen.
How often do they have to breathe? What's your guess?
Blue whale, let's say one. Yeah, I'll say once every 24 hours.
What? No.
Oh boy.
What are you talking about?
What is
That's ridiculous.
10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. Once a day?
Whales.
Oh, I thought that was freaking.
Once a day. Oh my god.
I love the shows that look up the information on the spot. It's so good. Oh my gosh.
It's the best.
All right, so these guys go heckle players during baseball games in the most fun way imaginable. It's great.
Hey, Randall! I bet you leave trash in your friends' cars, you bum! What a dirtbag, am I right? Hey, Kevin! You look like you eat bananas with the peel on, you bum! You should be. You guys ready? Hey, Eddie! I bet you think Africa is a country, you bum! Hey, Jonathan! I bet your mom never put your artwork on the fridge, you bum! It's probably bad artwork. Hey, Jonathan! I bet you hit reply all to company-wide emails, you bum!
That's such a good one.
I hate those. BCC yourself, man. It's way easier. Thank you. Hey, Chuck! I bet you always notice when someone gets a haircut, you stunt! You make those things up? Yeah, we have like a 9-page Google Doc. Hey, Ken, I hear you don't say thank you when people hold the door open for you, you bum! So rude. Hey, Profar! I bet you only have one pillow on your bed, you bum! Hey, Kevin! I hear you eat Kit Kat sideways, you bum! Not me!
Sideways. Oh,
I did that once at a Falcons game. I had some really good tickets, and we were like 3 yards back on the 50. And we were playing, I think it was like Arizona Cardinals, and their kicker was Catanzaro. And there was, and we were on the Arizona side. And like there was a guy next to me that was like so dressed up in Falcons gear, and we were shit talking so hard. And we were just yelling his name, Catanzaro. And then finally he turned around and looked at us. We're like, you sit down to pee. And he was like that, like that's the one that set him off. Like we're shit talking the whole game. And it's like halfway through the fourth quarter. You sit down to pee. And he was like, that's it. Screw you guys.
That's so funny. Oh, those guys
I
are
thought you were going to tell us the story about how you ate a Kit Kat bar sideways.
That's what I thought, because the timing of it, I was going to say
Yeah.
that, and I'm like, too much time is, but I'm glad you said it.
If you eat a Kit Kat bar sideways, there's something really wrong with your brain.
But I can see somebody doing it specifically to mess with other people.
Yes,
That
like,
is
that's
okay.
I'm going to
That's
fuck with
okay.
this person. I'm going to do this like it's normal.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Yeah. You like
Cut
corn
a
on the
square
cob.
out of the middle of the pizza.
That's like the
Yeah.
candy
Just
bar
walk off with that,
the
yeah.
fork and knife. What is that, like a Seinfeld?
Yeah, that's a good one, Alden. I love that one. Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We love doing this show, even when I'm traveling. I have a guest with me. We love doing this show. We love going over the last week's news, last week's culture, seeing what happens around the world.
See who's
around
bombing
the state of
who
Georgia.
this week. You know,
see which bombs are being dropped, making stuff up, spreading misinformation. It's just our forte. You know, we just love doing it. So you can support this show by going to our website, peacefulsea.network. You can buy some of our merch. You can watch there. There's going to be
democracy.
You can be a threat to democracy. Heck yeah. We're going to have a subscription model on our website very soon. $1 a month will get you all of our episodes plus bonus episodes that we will be releasing soon. We're going to start doing audio-only episodes. Foot videos. There we go. You can also support
Jake is also on OnlyFans.
Oh God!
I'm on Only Feet.
Only Feet
channel.
Only Feet. There we go.
It's the Sasquatch channel.
Oh. I mean, Alden would subscribe to that for sure.
I probably would. Yeah.
Yeah. You can also subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to Rumble. You can follow us over on Twitter and Instagram. We're trying to get more active over there. Liberty Libation on Twitter. Liberty Libations on Instagram. And yeah, go. You can also go to. Go follow Grumpy on onlygnomes.com.
Yeah. But you don't have to be lonely at Only Gnomes.
There we go. Again, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We have a blast making this show, and we look forward to doing this every week. So come back next week for good Lord, for some more Liberty Libations. Peace.
Cheers.